And
who
I think
didn't even hear it for herself.
if you're not at Guaranteed Rate Field, it's probably hard to understand why people are dressing as the Pope, but they're very excited about it. At any rate, it's Memorial Day weekend. You're never going to believe what AAA is calling for.
The most traveled day in history or something?
Record travel.
How about
When
it?
was the last time?
How do they know that?
That's right.
John?
I think this is what they do. They go, more people are born this year, so I guess more people than ever will be traveling. I think that's what, because every holiday is record travel.
Cardinals and Diamondbacks get
But I love
started
AAA.
tonight. They get started tonight in a series at Busch Stadium. So that's it. We got Hancock and Kelly here.
Trivia question for you.
Okay.
Yep.
A Cardinal and a Diamondback won the Cy Young Award in back-to-back years. Name them.
Randy Johnson and
Carpenter?
Chris Carpenter.
Carpenter is correct.
But Randy Johnson is not. Was it Kurt Schilling?
Brandon Webb.
Brandon
05 and 06. Chris
B-Webb?
Carpenter and Brandon Webb won the Cy Young
Brandon
Award.
Webb.
Yeah.
I forgot about Brandon,
Brandon Webb is a real forgettable Cy Young winner.
Yes, he is.
Holy.
I've never heard of him.
I have a
You
hard.
said you forgot about him, and then you said, never mind, never heard of
He
him.
won the Cy Young Award.
I feel like less of a human when I sit with you because in the mornings when you're playing these games and you play MLB games.
Yeah.
And he knows I like have a hard time recalling the names of my nieces and nephews. And John can tell me about some obscure pitcher
Mhm.
that came from Venezuela that played in, Arizona. And you're just like, what? And
I don't
know
think
this
Brandon
stuff.
Webb's from Venezuela.
He
but
is not from Venezuela.
No, I
no,
got
he does.
mud
But he
from
also,
him.
John also knows all about like Colonel Sanders.
Who?
The Kentucky
oh,
Fried
the
Chicken
chicken
guy.
dude?
Oh, yeah.
How do you know him?
Who
Harlan.
did not fight in the Civil War, as it turns out.
No, Harlan. He was not a colonel either. Well, he was named it. So you can name a colonel if you're the governor of Kentucky.
Wait,
and
They could just declare you a colonel?
well, so can the governor of Missouri. Can name honorary colonels.
Why?
What?
Well, it's
Like,
just,
what's the
Wait,
purpose
could
of
he
that?
be Colonel Kehoe?
hey, I could be a colonel.
Why wouldn't you be?
Why would
Wait
you?
a minute. I could be.
It's like being a
Mike
captain of an
Kehoe
airplane.
could name me a colonel.
Well, he likes you, right?
Do you have to do
Supposedly.
something noteworthy?
He's
well,
John
I mean,
Hancock.
look what I've done here.
Yeah.
Maybe this should
Would
be
you
our
be
goal.
one of those
Hit
people that
250,000.
runs
Colonel
around
Hancock.
and refers to yourself as colonel?
Oh,
if
heck
you
yeah.
became one?
Yeah. I'd get a cane. I'd do the whole thing, man.
Colonel
And,
Hancock. That would be so
Colonel
nice.
Hancock. Wow.
Make
is it-
Secretary of State feel like nothing.
Nothing. I
Nothing
could
compared
be-
to that.
Yes.
If you are named a colonel,
Mm.
are we required, even
Yes.
though we have to call you colonel?
Yes.
You don't
Is
have
it like
to
you?
call
Is it like you being a doctor?
It's like Roger Brand being a captain. Yes, you have to call me colonel.
Do we have to salute you?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, do real army people have to salute you?
Well, if you're the colonel, yeah. I
But
mean,
you're a guy
kind of a
who's
big deal.
certified to be a minister. Why would you want to go by the title of colonel
I could
rather than
be
the
Reverend
reverend?
Colonel-
the Reverend Colonel Hancock. I-
Oh, my gosh,
Oh, that's
this
too
is
much.
so-
well,
That's too
here
much.
we are.
See, and I think
This
you'll
is a great
never,
day.
You'll never even think about losing Secretary of State twice.
All of this is happening on date night for me, which is what a great
Oh,
day. this-
tonight's the what?
Tonight
That's
is
it.
date
That
night.
What does,
well, Georgianne is not going to be able to keep her hands off you.
What's your
Oh.
date night like?
Buddy, I can't tell you on
Oh,
the radio here.
Okay.
But his his father-in-law won't be there.
Yeah, we got the house to ourselves tonight.
Oh my. Oh my. I think that was talk for behind the wall. But he is put a lot of time and thought into this. I've heard him talk over the week because we've gotten to spend time together.
Been
We've
drinking
making
a lot
share
of
what's
water.
going on in
Been
your
making
life.
plans. I think we're
He
gonna.
told me what his night was, and I thought, you know what, buddy, good for you.
I
That
think we're
sounds like
gonna.
a really
I think
fun
we're gonna
night.
John.
ignite the fire pit on the patio tonight.
Oh,
Okay, sorry, I didn't know which fire pit.
I think you really need to keep it indoors, to be honest.
I don't know, man. There's something about that flame.
John,
It's gonna be in the 50s
you need to
tonight.
give
It will
Georgianne
be.
Yeah.
give Georgianne her
With that music
second glass of wine,
Yes.
and then drop the Reverend Colonel on her.
Oh,
there. You still got that
Yeah.
polyester white suit you used to go up to
buddy,
Northwest
it's
Plaza in?
hanging in the closet. I've also got my Taekwondo outfit from when Johnny was 5. There's nothing like seeing me in all of white.
Dude.
Those white pants and a little white.
swear
Can you
to
imagine
taekwondo.
John Hancock strolling down the street to this music in a white?
What kind of role playing are they doing?
I took Junior. This would have been 25 years ago. I took Junior to taekwondo.
I'm surprised you don't have
Oh, my
more kids.
Master,
Oh my!
Master Rowe, and he Master RHO, and Johnny's taking taekwondo, and I show up there, and he says, Johnny,
Wait, is this the scenario?
huh? Yeah, this is how I
no,
got
this
the
is a role play.
show.
This is a true story.
Oh,
I've
it's a
heard
true
this
story.
one
Okay,
before.
okay.
So-
This isn't a role play.
Are you
So
going to
he
do the
says-
accents?
No.
No,
So
don't.
he says to my son, he says, taekwondo is a very good father-son activity. He said, little boy, would you like your father to come to class? And Johnny said, yeah. So, uniform. So they get me the pants and and then, and so you get in there and I don't know what's going to happen. And so the guy comes in, the instructor, and he says, everybody on your back and do 50 sit-ups. And they're counting in Korean. Hata, huta, hita, hata, huta. And I'm like, 2, 3. It was awful. Now roll over, do 50 push-ups. And they're hata, hita, huta, hata. And I'm like, 7. So, and then, you're going through all these little dance maneuvers and stuff. And then you've got to pair off with somebody. And I couldn't pair off with my son because we're not the same height. So I was paired off with a woman who probably her husband had been cheating on her for, and she proceeded to beat the tar out of me. I mean, just beat the crap out of me. And so that was the end of taekwondo.
Did you get the merit badge?
We broke the wood. Johnny and I both pushed. We got the, I believe it was the yellow belt.
Oh, the yellow belt.
The yellow
Is
belt.
Is
the
that
first
one
belt?
above
That's
white?
that's the first-
White belt is the first one, right?
We got the white belt.
The white belt
You're
is just
given
what
the
they-
white belt.
That's
Yeah.
what they give you to hold your pants up.
So I think yellow is the first progression, isn't it?
It could be.
I think it is.
I think it is.
I think Taekwondo class was kind of like when he signed up for the gym. He went one time.
Yeah, that
And
was
intended
tough,
to
man.
show up the next week.
I
and
hope I
went
never.
back.
I hope I never run into this woman in a dark alley. She was tough, man.
Wow.
Oh,
Are the wood
awful.
the wood they make you crack? Is it pre-cut to make it easier for you to get through the wood?
It would have to be.
Yeah.
Was it
because
MDF or was it a 2x4?
It was like a.
Is
I
it
don't know.
MDF? Isn't that what the press?
I don't know
called?
what MDF means.
MDF.
What's the press wood called?
I've
It's called
texted something
DFM
similar.
Or MDF.
No, this was genuine
Well, it's
wood.
plywood.
This was genuine. Yeah, it's like plywood.
Okay.
Yeah, and you just pop with your palm. You put the palm
Yeah.
right through
Did
it.
it hurt?
Medium density fiberboard. MDF. That's like the most construction knowledge I've ever.
Impressive,
Thank
Amy.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael.
I'm impressed. I've never heard of MDF.
Well, you added a lot to that story.
Wow.
You know what?
Well, he just went right for your throat there.
I made a political observation earlier this morning, and Michael goes, "Oh, astute observation, Amy."
Well, I think John said something
I
like,
said something was illegal, and you're like, "Oh."
I'm like,
duh."
well, yeah, that's an astute observation because it was blatantly illegal. Doesn't seem to matter, though, what's illegal anymore, does it?
Who knows?
Killed a guy in public. I don't think you're allowed to
I
do
think
that.
that's illegal.
That was essentially the
Yeah, I don't think you're
observation.
allowed to.
Oh,
Yeah.
astute observation, Amy.
Oh, poor Amy.
I think Amy's pretty smart.
I think I do too. I
Yeah.
think I may have been reading something at the time and I heard her just say it. So I wanted to be a part of the conversation.
No. If you were reading something, you didn't hear her say anything because when you're reading something, it's amazing. I will have an entire conversation with this man,
Really?
and he doesn't hear a word I say because he's buried in his phone there. And
What'd you say?
exactly. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, he's
I
focused.
can
You have good
do
hearing?
like 4
Would you-
things at once.
Well, so are you multitasking or are
Yes.
you scatterbrained?
Both.
How
Okay.
can you
No.
multitask, but you can't drive?
Well, I can
Because,
drive.
like, I mean, like multitasking does take some suave and ability. Driving, you have to multitask. You can't do that.
I'm a reasonably.
When you
decent
go
driver.
out on a date with your wife for date night,
Yeah.
does she drive?
Oh, yeah, she
to
drives.
the date.
Yeah, she's driving.
I love it. Does she open? She come over and open the door for you? So do you
I'm
open the door on the front?
gonna open the door for her tonight.
Honey, let's go out.
The
Will
driver's
you
side.
take me to
Yeah.
dinner, sweetheart?
Yeah,
You gonna open the
she gets car sick when I drive. Yeah.
That's a turnoff.
He's
Yeah.
a bad
You don't wanna
driver,
be
right?
nauseated.
You said that, Michael.
I'm not as bad as
self-described.
I'm not as bad as people think I am.
That is not what
Well,
your car says.
I think what John is John's in his world when he's driving a car, and
yeah.
he has strong feelings and thoughts about what he's going to do. Like, I'm going to pull into this parking spot, and the garage is wide open, and he hits it, and he says, "See what I just did there, Kelly? I told you I was going to make this parking spot." Well, it's an empty lot.
Yeah. A poorly
Yeah.
aligned lot in this parking lot. here.
Very faint, the lines
It's
are.
very faint. You
Yeah.
can't see the darn thing,
Mm-hmm.
and so you can't blame a guy for.
But
you know,
is it a
parking
bit
in two
emasculating here? You're going to take your wife out on a special date, and she's going to drive you. What is her dad going to bring you home?
maybe.
Yeah, 'cause,
Yeah.
I mean, what the heck?
No, it's the way it's supposed to be.
Listen, Michael, you get a lot of leeway when you're the Reverend Colonel Hancock.
Thank you.
Colonel.
So is your stepfather having a sleepover somewhere else, or what's going on?
He's going to be at his house tonight with his grandson.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So it'll be father-in-law, not stepfather.
Father-in-law. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I meant.
I don't have a
Ron
stepfather.
doesn't know how, you know what I mean. He doesn't know what happens when.
By
you
the
get
way,
married.
this shirt I'm wearing today,
It's
Yeah.
Cardinal shirt.
it was a gift that I gave my father 20 years ago
Oh,
for Christmas.
Wait, you're wearing a shirt you gave your dad?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
guess.
Every time I wear it, I think about it.
You going to the ball game tonight?
I'm not.
No.
State night.
Oh, by
Oh,
the
that's
way,
right.
night,
Well, you should
Ron.
you should
Pay
take her
attention.
to the game.
And we're not gonna.
He won't be
I'm not
watching
even gonna
baseball.
watch the game tonight.
Atta
How
boy.
about that?
I know
Gonna
what
have
you're
a
going to do.
fire on the patio.
Hey,
the fire somewhere.
I know what you're going to do tonight.
On the patio.
You're going to pass out by 7. Of course, you're not going to watch the game. You'll be asleep by then. 7:15 first pitch. Hancock and Kelly with us. It's the Chris and Amy show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. One question I'm always asked is, how did you become the largest injury firm in the world with over 1,000 attorneys and $25 billion in verdicts and settlements? One way was our financial strength. Medical malpractice is the third leading cause of death in America. To prosecute a typical case costs up to $250,000 in case cost. We advance them all. Product liability cases can have similar costs with an army of lawyers on the other side. Automobile insurance companies have the resources to fight. Guess what? So do we. Many law firms simply may not have the financial firepower to work up your case the way you deserve. And we don't charge by the hour. No recovery, no fee. If you have a question about your case or wish to become a client, go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer. 24/7. It's that easy. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I'm Bobby Finger.
And I'm Lindsay Weber. Our podcast, Who Weekly, is everything you need to know about the celebrities you don't. Think of us as your cheat code to People Magazine, your glossary for Hollywood, a shortcut to understanding pop culture at large.
For the past 8 years, Who Weekly has been telling listeners everything they need to know about the celebrities they don't.
Who Weekly airs twice weekly with brand new episodes on Tuesdays and Fridays. Listen and follow Who Weekly, an Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
I really need funding to expand my inventory.
Swish Funding can help you expand inventory, upgrade equipment, and boost your cash flow.
Well, okay, but I need funding fast.
Swish Funding provides funding from $25,000 to $2 million with payment terms tailored to your needs and cash in your account in less than 24 hours.
So what's the catch?
No catch. If you've been in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000, you could qualify. Just go to swishfunding.com to apply. That's swishfunding.com.
Not available in all states. Rates vary. Building a financial safety net for your family can be tough, but with term life insurance through Ethos, you can have peace of mind that they can pay the mortgage and other bills if something happens to you. With coverage in as little as 10 minutes, all online, Ethos finds your best rate across their multiple trusted carriers. Some policies as low as $1 a day billed monthly. And even in uncertain times, your term life insurance rates and payout don't change. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-280-2424. 800-280-2424. That's 800-280-2424.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning, life, and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fira Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, registered investment advisors. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourEyeDoc.com.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX. Sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
Duo. That's dynamic duo.
Hancock and Kelly.
I loved this show.
Really?
When it was
What,
on
Batman?
at like 3 or 3:30, it was Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Saved by the Bell. I just remember this was like the one year I went to school, first grade, kindergarten, first grade,
Man,
and I would watch this in first grade. We'd come home, and yeah, I don't remember the order, but it was Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Saved by the Bell. Oh man, those were the days.
Saw
Very
any
young.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle
Nor
thing in
did
my
I.
life. Nothing.
Nor did I. Wouldn't know one if I
Really?
saw one.
You would have been.
Oh,
Oh,
I've been around that
cartoon?
age. I didn't watch that. I was weird, I guess. Maybe I had sisters, right?
You had-
He-Man. I wasn't. I didn't watch.
Did you
that.
watch He-Man?
Oh,
But did you, Ron? You had the animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right?
Yeah, of course. Like I was
Well,
of
they
the
existed.
age.
I
Did
where
you
that was
guys?
the thing.
Did you guys have Ultraman?
Ultraman,
No, that was
like
before.
a church guy.
No,
Ultraman.
My
No.
dad talks about it all the time.
Oh,
He loved the old
Ultraman
Japanese
was-
it
shows.
was a science
Yes.
fiction
Do
thing.
the
Johnny Sacco and
Yeah.
the flying robot.
robot, yeah.
Wait,
Speed
but
Racer.
not
I-
like
this
Alter
guy.
Boy.
Can we just take a second and honor
the old
Yeah.
soul.
yeah, Peach over here.
Well-
I mean, he is I mean, what are you, 22 years old?
25.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Allegedly.
But you could be 60.
I
I
don't
mean, you
watch them,
could.
but my dad watches them. Maybe I'll occasionally sit in with a few of the episodes. But
Yeah.
yeah, he knows all about Ultraman. We got him the Ultraman box set for his birthday.
Really?
Oh, very nicely done.
It looks very tacky.
Is it Ultraman?
Ultraman.
I've never.
He
heard
had
of
a little light bulb on his chest, and when his energy was draining, it would start
that.
flashing.
Wait, that's like Iron Man.
And he would so he'd be fighting the evil people, and his little light was
flux capacitor
flashing.
would go
Yeah,
out.
his light was flashing, and you gotta, you're rooting for him to kick the guy's butt, before his light goes out. So
How did he recharge?
I don't know. I'm sure there was a system in place.
just took a nap?
Yeah, I don't know. He was he was a regular guy. In fact, it was a Japanese cast, except the guy who played Ultraman was American, and it was
Wow.
Huh.
I was
Fascinating.
too busy watching Days of Our Lives.
Oh.
When
Five
you-
sisters, we would come home from school every day.
Oh,
And I mean, they recorded on the same VHS tape. Remember those so
Yes.
much that the quality of the
Yeah.
film got
Right.
bad.
Got grainy.
But I can tell you all about John Black and Hope and
I met
Bo and,
Really?
I met Deidre Hall once.
did
Did
you?
you?
Yeah,
Oh, that's Marlena.
I think Marlena.
Yeah.
who was
I think
it?
she thought I was pretty fun.
Who was it
Yeah.
that tried to pick you up?
The lady from
The Partridge Family.
no,
No.
What?
Yeah,
she,
the Brady Bunch.
Brady Bunch lady.
Yeah.
Florence Henderson?
Yes.
You should read some
No.
stuff.
She tried
about
to pick him
Florence.
up.
She was fun back in.
She tried to pick you up.
I think she's
Yes.
dead. Yeah, I don't think I was
She's
unique.
dead. Wait,
I don't think I
what
was
did
unique.
Did she have a
say?
thing
She
with
was- she
Greg
was-
Brady?
She did,
She
but
did.
Yeah.
she's known. You should Google.
She was promiscuous. She was.
I didn't say that.
Well,
No, that's
what?
rude.
Well, she was flirting with you.
Yes.
What'd
Well,
she do?
thank you.
So
yeah,
you-
she was stooping down.
You're what? You're in a
flirting
bar,
with me.
right?
Yeah,
You're in a bar?
I'm trying to remember this one. Go ahead.
Well, it's the story I heard from,
Yes, it's
from
true.
you is that you're at a bar and he's sitting next to somebody and she's flirting with him and
Yes. Here in town.
Right, yeah.
Yes. I've met her.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so
It was
Was
lovely.
she like complimenting your curly hair? Did you like your hair?
No, she was having a drink. Yeah, I don't remember the conversation.
And then she saw you, that tall drink of water over there.
Yeah. Boy, I have told all my stories on the radio.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the best story ever. Like Chris tried to pull it off, but I was traveling to New York once a week.
This
right?
is the best story.
This is truly the best story ever. I was traveling to New York once a week. And when I was up there, I'd have all of Sunday to do kind of whatever I wanted. So there's this thing called the Red Box store up in New York. So every week I'd go up and get the Red Box and you go see a Broadway show. That's the backdrop. Flying from St. Louis to New York on a plane. I'm sitting in first class because I had traveled a lot. I got upgraded. And I'm telling you, one of the most beautiful redhead comes and sits next to me. She's got this curly hair. She's got this white, she's this very pale skin. She's beautiful. And I don't want to be that dirtball on the plane that's going to be like, hey, howdy, what's up? So I sit there quiet the whole time. She leaves. We nod at each other. I never have a conversation with her.
You land at
LaGuardia. And when LaGuardia was a bad airport, so she's getting her bag off. I pull her bag off. We go about our separate ways. We kind of make a connection, right?
You pulled her bag off.
That night I go to see Moving Out, which is the Billy Joel show. I remember this night.
Sitting in the front row he is.
Yes. And I wind up sitting in the front row because I got a single ticket. I'm telling you, as the show starts, the girl that was sitting next to me is dancing in the show.
She's dancing in the show. He pulled her bag off the cart and she's dancing in the show.
End of the show, she comes out. She comes to do the bow. She literally bows in front of me and says, "Stay right there."
Stay right there, she said.
So now we have a connection. She's from St. Louis, blah, blah, blah. She takes me to this place right off of Broadway where the shows are. There's all these houses, row houses that you go in, but they're like speakeasies for the Broadway folks that work on Broadway.
She
Because there's
takes him to a
thousands.
speakeasy.
So I wound up hanging out with her for.
He hangs out.
It was a lovely time. We had but we tried to connect with her. Chris Myhill, the old PJ, tried to connect with her, and I don't think she wanted to participate.
She did not want to.
She did
not want to take that little stroll down memory lane.
But I mean, it was my ultimate.
Wait,
story.
hold on a second.
Yeah, right.
So you hung out with her all night, and that was the end
weekend.
of it?
I mean,
The weekend?
Remember, this is before the communication devices we have now. It's not like we were texting. There was no such
Do you know
thing
her
as
name?
texting.
He was
I do know her name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna look her up in a minute.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Isn't that the greatest story ever?
Phone number?
I got an email where Chris pulled all the stuff together. She's from St. Louis. She's married and has kids now, and I don't think she's on Broadway anymore.
Oh, well, never mind.
Probably a grandma by now.
It was the best, though. But it was just so crazy because I will never forget the boy talk in my head where I'm like, oh my God, this beautiful girl's going to sit next to me. I'm not going to be that dude. No, I wish I would have spent the whole time talking to her on the flight to New York.
Well, if you had done that, she probably wouldn't have come back.
Yeah, right. Then maybe the universe wouldn't have put me there.
You are an acquired taste.
What? I loved him right away. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's not helping his case any.
Oh, well, I'm a good judge of character.
All right, are we done yet?
Why do you have to go?
You got another half
All
hour.
right, fine.
You got to go to the bathroom, big
Fine.
boy.
That is something.
Hancock and Kelly with Chris and Amy on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Charlie Brennan with Dr. Colleen Bosler from the Audiology Center. What can people expect when they visit one of your doctors at the Audiology Center?
Expect a friendly greeting and a waiting room stocked full of refreshments. But more importantly, a patient should expect that they're treated on an individual basis. We are not retail, and we pride ourselves on our medical model. Each hearing aid is catered towards each patient's unique needs. Expect a full history intake where we get to know you and your personal needs. And then we'll complete a full battery of tests where we can adequately diagnose your hearing health. We want you to understand those results right away. So directly following your tests, we're going to go over everything extensively. Finally, at that time, we'll develop a customized treatment plan built around you as an individual.
The Audiology Center, 3 locations in the St. Louis area, 636-441-7470, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
Currently Currently, it is 60 degrees and sunny downtown in St. Louis. It'll be sun and some clouds mixed in throughout the day. A high of 73. Tomorrow, a bit cloudy and a high of 71. Weather brought to you by FanDuel Sports Network. Cardinals fans, there are more ways this season to watch the Cards on FanDuel Sports Network. Watch through your TV provider or new this year. Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network and stream the Cardinals. Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com for details.
Life is challenging and ever-changing. Take control with passive income through real estate investing. Learn how, learn now. Let Del Walmsley and Lifestyles Unlimited's investors and mentors show you. Meet Del's team and get educated now at Lifestyles Unlimited. Text the word radio to 88007. That's radio to 88007. Join for just $297. Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's radio to 88007.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-280-2424. 800-280-2424. That's 800-280-2424.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning, life, and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Here's the story of a lovely lady who was bringing up three very lovely girls. All of them had hair of gold.
Michael Kelly and
Florence Henderson.
they had a thing.
They
didn't really
did
have a
not.
thing.
No.
There was a vibe. There was a
with her in
vibe.
the same space, and we had a.
And
yes.
she was.
There was a connection.
She was enchanted.
She's flirty.
She was enchanted by
She was
Michael Kelly.
enchanted.
She was flirty.
You know,
But I don't
I
think that was a unique thing that she would be flirty.
I know a guy pretty well. Rest in peace. Who had a thing, like an actual thing with Barbara Eden back in the
Wow.
day.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
With Jeannie.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I got a friend.
This was decades ago.
Would have to have been.
Yeah.
I've got a friend who has a slight humble brag, but it did not come as a humble brag.
Yeah.
I'm at his house one night and he's telling me about college and stuff, and he starts showing me pictures, and I'm looking at this girl that's in these pictures, all these pictures with him, and it's Heather Locklear.
Oh yeah.
He dated Heather Locklear for a year when she was in college. And I was like, well, how about that? So-and-so, you all know him. And isn't that cool? And he was like, yeah, we didn't get along, so it didn't stick with it. She winds up becoming this big celebrity, and Heather Locklear.
Yeah, a lot of problems though. A lot of problems with Heather Locklear.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, she's had
problems.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't she married to Charlie Sheen?
I don't know.
Or was
That was a musician. Maybe it's both.
I don't
Tommy
know.
Lee and Richie Sambora.
Who?
Okay.
Tommy Lee and Richie Sambora.
Oh.
Richie
Both of
Sambora,
them?
he's the Bon Jovi guy.
Yeah.
Oh. And Tommy Lee, he's the Motley Crue guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she likes the rockers.
Yep.
Yeah.
My grandma liked John Bon Jovi. It was so weird. She was like on oxygen in a nursing home, and she's like, "That guy's hot."
Isn't it weird when you find out that people
yeah,
older
you
than
don't want to
are
hear
still- are
stories
also
about
sexual? Yeah, your parents or
I've
your
heard
grandparents
things,
acknowledging that others are attractive.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
your
not.
parents weren't celibate, Ronj. I hate to
Not
break
my
it
parents.
to you.
I understand, but
I'm
that's a
talking
hard
older
pill
than
to
that.
swallow when you're younger. When you hear that, your parents.
I know way too much about my grandparents.
Really?
Way too much.
Oh, you got to tell them your grandpa's story.
Your grandpa's story. I
Which
want to
one?
hear your grandpa's
Which one is
story.
that
About
one?
the return he couldn't make.
Oh, this is my great grandfather.
Your great grandfather.
Great-grandfather.
Yeah,
you
he
knew
was-
your great grandfather.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I knew two of my great grandparents.
Wow.
For a while.
Wow.
I had a great grandmother until I was 24.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did. So, my great grandfather,
Yeah.
according to my family, one day comes home and he was, old. Like
I thought he
in
was
his
like
80s.
maybe having a little bit of issues, right?
Yeah,
Mentally?
I think he was. I was too young to understand that, but apparently he came to the house and he had bought a box of prophylactics, and he brought them home. And she's like, "What do you think is going to happen with this?
A box.
So, like whatever you get, right?" So he brought them home, thinking, "Hey, right." And so she says, "Absolutely not." So they go back to Walgreens together to return them.
She made the man.
They were very tight with the money.
Yeah.
So they returned
a box.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
How long ago was this? When did the condom even get invented?
It had to have been 80s.
When did the condom even get invented where it became something you could go pick up in a store
They
that?
used to a
Well,
long
his
time
great
ago.
grandparents were old at this point.
Yeah, buddy. I mean, as long as they've been making those gloves that you clean the kitchen with.
Latex.
Yeah, same thing.
They used to use lambskin, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something
Back
I
a long time
associate
ago.
with like a newer product, but I guess they've been around forever, right?
Well, not ever.
Or,
I mean, you got to go back to the, the gloves that you clean the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then they thought, wait a second.
Aha. We can make 5 of those. And we can do one.
The rubber gloves.
Yeah.
Well, which one do we know came first? Because either one could have
The thumb.
been an aha moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know what you meant.
I think
thought-
they sell the most of the thumb.
Yeah.
Have we gotten fired yet? No, I'm just asking for a friend over here.
I even know how to
country.
Okay. Good.
Our boss is not in this. He's not on the mainland. We don't have to worry about
Yeah,
him.
he's out of the country, so
So-
things have gone off.
436-7900 if you want to weigh in on this weedy
But I
topic.
will say, while before we pivot, our goal. This is all of a sudden like very real. KMOX.com, KMOX.com/Red Cross.
You want to start over?
I do.
Why don't you start over?
That was a smooth pivot.
That was, I mean,
By the way, it's
every
low.
part of that could have been mispronounced was mispronounced.
Before
That
you
was
got
incredible.
here, she said to me, she goes, "Don't butcher the throw that you have
Well, because
coming up for the traffic." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, Aim, for the pressure."
The
And
red
then
light comes on. He's like, Roger Brandt in the traffic center.
It's KMOX.com/Red
Cross.
Cross. After Amy did it,
Yeah.
people are taking money
We've
back.
raised
So
raised slightly over $700,000 on that.
Well, no. It's
No.
we have
We want to get
raised.
to 200,000 before the show's over, so
We-
we need you to donate
Oh,
right
that'll
now.
piece of
It's
cake.
easy. We're at $180,000 right now,
180,000.
approaching 181.
I'm gonna do it again.
And the
20
St.
grand.
Louis has come out huge, man.
Okay.
In the last 30
St. Louis
hours.
is the best. St. Louis is the best.
So, in conjunction with the Red Cross and Fox 2, we are
Yeah.
doing this effort, and we're going to keep doing
We got
it.
to make the
obviously.
push. Donate now because all of the money stays local, as Ron
Right.
mentioned. All of this money that is donated through KMOX.com/Red Cross
Mhm.
Bingo.
stays in St. Louis. We want to get to $200,000 by the end of the show. You guys are
We're
amazing.
going to do it. And you've got 2 members who are employed by both KMOX and Fox 2 sitting right
right
here.
here
in the
with
studio.
Oh,
you.
look at you guys.
Yeah,
we're the only ones who
the
work
only
on it.
ones that
Yeah.
qualify under that category.
Who else is a part of that sponsorship deal? Maybe we can get
Yeah.
working for them
Yeah,
too.
right. The Red
Well,
Cross, buddy.
The Red Cross.
Yeah.
Well, we could take blood.
Oh, look, my daughter's FaceTiming me. Thanks for listening.
Robert
Dad's
comments.
not doing anything right now.
Robert comments on the YouTube stream to Michael. He said, "When were condoms invented?" Says the good Catholic.
Wait, well, by the way, that's the best scene in the history of the world.
Oh,
Where the all things.
the Monty Python.
Yeah, the Monty
Oh,
Python.
You told me about that song. I had
Oh,
never
what
heard that
is
song.
It's all about how he comes home and tells his wife one day the Pope won't let him use a condom, and
Well,
all of a sudden there's just kids everywhere, and the ladies over washing dishes, and there's kids falling out of her. It's funny.
it's just the worst.
It is. It's a Monty Python.
It is a Monty Python.
Do you ever watch Monty Python?
Yeah, well,
I
I've seen
did.
the movies. I've seen Life of Brian, and I've seen Holy Grail.
They're like the original
Meaning of life.
cerebral slapstick to me.
Yeah.
And, and then I guess the Naked Guns come. Now they're going to do the Naked Gun with
Yeah.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson, yeah.
Neeson.
Yeah.
What do you
Really?
think of that?
I'm interested. I'm interested.
Are you?
Yep.
In a good way?
Yeah. Because he does have if you've seen the what's the show called with Ricky Gervais? Life's Too Short.
Yeah,
I think is what it's called. And there's this scene where he comes into Ricky Gervais's office, and it's a comedy, and he's talking about how he wants to start doing comedy. And they're like, I don't think so. And he's like, let's do some improvisational comedy now. And it's very funny because they all feel threatened, like, all right, well, we better do it. And then they're practicing the comedy, and it's really, really funny. So I think there's good potential there. Yeah.
He's just burned into my mind as the guy who I have a very special skill set.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to play the Leslie Nielsen role.
Yeah, he's going to be the new
Liam Neeson is going to play Leslie Nielsen.
That's a great point.
Wow.
That's right.
That's something you don't see.
You don't see that every day.
No. Wow.
And I think I may have merged their names when I originally
You did.
said
You said Liam
Nielsen.
Nielsen.
Yeah. See what I did? I was 2 steps ahead of you there.
Yeah. We're a pronunciation disaster.
I know. You know what? I think we all clocked out. I think we
Could
clocked
be.
out.
It's Friday.
It's Friday on a holiday weekend.
I mean, I just took a FaceTime call.
Well, then they are calling for more people traveling than ever before this weekend,
I don't believe
mostly by car.
I don't believe it.
I believe it. If you're out in the middle of Missouri right now, I bet there's a bunch of people on Highway 70 trying to get down to the Lake of the Ozarks.
And it's going to rain, they said.
The whole weekend.
They said Southwest Missouri is looking a little rough. That's what Total Information AM said this morning. A lot of rain down
there
in
you
the
go.
Ozarks.
That's your answer right there for your, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I feel like we are doing a lot of inside baseball today on the radio.
Well, I don't know what happened here, but it sounds like John almost got Michael in trouble.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
from the looks of things, the fact definitely.
So donate to
Yes.
KMOX.com/Red
Red
Cross
Cross.
and help us in our tornado
Yeah.
relief effort.
And we are so grateful for all of the donations, and we're thankful for all of the feedback yesterday. We took in the feedback, and we're moving forward.
Some of the feedback.
So you're not going to do anything then?
I don't think so.
To thank the people.
Well, we were going to do, what was the Speedo one?
Oh,
Like you would
No,
not.
let's
No.
not.
It was if we hit a certain amount, he won't wear a Speedo.
Oh, we went way.
we hit
went
that
way
amount.
past
We hit that
yeah.
amount.
Yeah, so I don't think we have anything.
I think it was 100,000. We went way
Yeah.
past.
No,
that.
you got to do something.
Well, but aren't people already showing up to the White Sox park dressed as the Pope already?
Well, they are, but we're not gonna take part in that in an abundance of caution. But we were saying because
we're pivoting from that.
Yes,
Yes.
because the White Sox were so excited about the Pope being from the South Side, people are doing it. But I guess like you got to be there.
My biggest takeaway is that even the Pope doesn't want to be a Cub fan.
A Cubs fan?
Yeah, he's a
He had
White
the option.
Sox fan. Like
Yeah.
he had a choice growing up to be like the Cub fan or
But
the
I
White
thought
Sox
if you were
fan.
from the South Side, you had to be a White Sox fan.
It's like 95%.
Is that
There's
right?
there's always somebody who's who's not following the herd, and it's true on the North Side too. You have a lot of
Really?
Sox fans up there. Yeah.
If you're not many, huh?
You probably have more Sox fans North Side than you have Cubs fans South Side.
Are the Yankees Mets fans divided by
Yeah,
Well,
similar.
the Mets are in the
geography?
Queens, and
Yeah.
the Yankees are in the
Different
Bronx.
boroughs.
Well, I
So-
get that, but I always feel like the whole town's a Yankees town, but I like the Mets.
Yeah, a lot of Mets fans.
So
Yeah.
does Jerry Seinfeld. He's got a suite.
Speaking
He's
of
a
the
part
Mets,
He
owner,
has a
isn't he?
suite?
I think he's a part owner.
He might be an
He
investor.
and Bill Maher, I think, are all in
I
that.
love that song. Meet the Mets, greet the Mets, step right up.
Lame mascot though.
The ball, the
big
baseball.
Mr. Met.
Ooh.
I think Mr. Met is great.
Did you see?
It's like Jack in the Box.
Speaking of
I love
mascots, there was like an Atlanta Braves game or something. They were playing Philadelphia, and does Bryce Harper play for Philadelphia?
Philadelphia.
Yes. Okay. So he had his sliding mitt on, and one of the Atlanta Braves broadcasters goes, "And wow, Bryce Harper with an Oscar the Grouch sliding mitt. That's interesting."
It was the
And the guy
Philly
goes, "Are
fanatic."
you sure that's not the Philly fanatic?"
Oh.
Thought it was Oscar the Grouch.
Ooh.
Speaking of Hall of Fame mascots, how about Fredbird?
How about him? What about him?
Fred.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
He
Well,
is.
he's not in yet.
Oh.
He is. He's going to be inducted though, or
John.
he's a nominee
Trivia guy.
Yes.
For Cooperstown?
Yep. Well, there's a mascot Hall of Fame.
It's not Cooper.
And he has been nominated for the Mascot Hall of Fame.
Quick question. Do you know, John, when Fred Bird became the mascot of the Cardinals?
So you got to go back to the chicken and the San Diego chicken. Yeah, that was the original mascot. It would have emerged in the 70s. I'm going to guess that Fred Bird became the official mascot of the Cardinals. This will be an educated guess. I'm going to say 1979.
I believe that's right.
You're
Really?
exactly
Are you kidding?
correct.
Yeah.
1979.
He's right.
I thought Fred Bird the Redbird's been around forever.
That's what I thought too.
That's what I thought. But who are the chickens?
Can
The San
we
Diego
just take
chicken.
a moment and recognize the unbelievable amount of knowledge that this
That was
possessed
really so.
over
That
here in
really
this
was a
very
guess.
seat.
Tell you what, you got your date night tonight. You're really feeling yourself.
I am. I happen to be my
Hopefully
own biggest fan.
Last mascot note, because I guess the Wienermobile is somewhat of a mascot.
The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile?
Yes.
It's nominated for the mascot
No,
Hall of Fame.
no, but there are 6 Wienermobiles, and all 6 Wieners are going to be at the Indy 500 racing.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh. Now I've seen the Wienermobile up close.
Oh, so have I. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think you just have
It's like
3
built on
M's.
top of like an El Camino or something. It's not a big fancy. You would think it would be far more fancy than it is,
Well,
right?
It's a
Well,
hot
no,
dog.
I think it looks pretty fancy.
Yeah, but it's.
I
is
bet
the
it's nice inside.
Wienermobile a hot dog, or is it supposed to be the little smoky wiener?
No, it's the hot
It's
dog.
the
It's
whole
a
hot
hot
dog. In fact, I think there's a bun around.
There's a bun.
It's got a bun. That was like the guy that was the
Drive
Coney
around with your
Coney
wiener
Island
out.
king of Detroit.
Not inside a bun.
Greek guy. He owned all the Coney Islands in Detroit, and when he died, they buried him in a coffin that looked like a bun. And the people would come by and throw ketchup.
They did not.
Who's this?
They did not.
He was the Coney king of Detroit.
Such a liar. John Hancock, Michael Kelly with us. We've accomplished nothing in the first 47
Steve's
minutes.
out of the country. It's not our fault.
Yeah, who cares? It's Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
We're here for the fun. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan from McKelvey Homes. Since 1898, we've been building homes of legendary quality with personal service for families in St. Louis for over 127 years. And to mark this special occasion, we are celebrating with our anniversary gift of $18,980 in options on all homes in all communities across St. Louis and St. Charles counties. When you're ready to move up to McKelvey, visit McKelveyhomes.com.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. With 56 million winning tickets last year, anyone can win big. So set your destination to winning, like gas stations, grocery stores, or anywhere you can buy a ticket. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning, life, and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-280-2424. 800-280-2424. That's 800-280-2424.
If you are a shelter insurance policyholder and have damage to your home, car, farm, or business due to the recent storms, please call 1-800-SHELTER. That's toll free 1-800-743-5837. Or report your claim online at shelterinsurance.com. Early reporting of your loss will help Shelter schedule adjusters to handle your claim. Take whatever reasonable steps you can to protect your property from additional damage and call 1-800-SHELTER to report your claim today.
It's been said that our eyes are the windows to the world, and so it stands to reason we should take care of those eyes, right? And wouldn't you want to entrust that care to vision experts? Well, that's what you'll find at Ophthalmology Associates, specialists in every field of eye care, and they all share the common mission to provide their patients the highest quality of personalized care and attention. Thorough eye exams, cataract treatment, advanced vision correction surgeries, all aspects of eye care that's right for you is right at Ophthalmology Associates. This is Rick Wallace. They have been my trusted partners in the health of my eyes for almost 30 years. They are the best. Ophthalmology Associates, Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer, 3 St. Louis area locations. Visit youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend Friday.
John Hancock, Michael Kelly, Amy Mark Scores, Chris Ranji. It's a great Friday morning, I think. It's nice out. It's going to be like 70 today. It's going to be a great night for a ball game. I would highly recommend getting out to Busch Stadium tonight.
Yeah. Who's pitching tonight?
Nicholas.
It is Miles Mikolas. You're right. Miles Mikolas.
A Greek guy. That's fitting.
Greek Fest is
going on.
Greek
Fest this weekend, and Miles Mikolas on the mound. Are
you going down to the ball game, Ranj?
I'm thinking about it.
You know, Ranj was just 2 levels above us the other day when we were hanging out with Wheeler and Glover.
Is that right?
Yeah, we couldn't get into the area he's in because it was restricted VIP, etc. But he could have come down and said hello.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
You know what I didn't know?
You didn't want to walk away from the free food and drink, did you?
No.
Well, what's funny is I was not invited to the game, but Matt Pajeski and I walked into the office after the show is over, and I was like, oh, why does it smell like sunscreen? And he's like, it does smell like sunscreen. And then I made a joke about Wheeler going to the game. And lo and behold, he did go to the game. It was Wheeler. He had put on so much sunscreen. It left
that freckly fella, he's got to
mist.
Got to protect himself.
He sat next to me at the game.
That's a lot of sunscreen.
You and Wheels?
Yeah, me and Wheels.
How
We
did
had
that
a
go?
delightful conversation.
Did you?
Did you get to talk?
Baseball. Yeah, I got to talk. Smart guy, Wheeler. I mean, he knows.
He's a great baseball guy.
Yes, he's a great baseball guy.
He knows stuff, too.
Yeah. No,
I wish I had just 10% of the authoritative confidence that comes from Kevin's statements. Because, like, he's just one of those people, like, you know, just stop it. You know, you're addicted to that? Well, stop it. And he can do that.
He is a walking,
he can do that.
Yeah, he's a walking dead end. Everything he says is just like a dead end. There's nowhere to go. You can't counter anything he says.
No, because
why does he
knows
always
what he's
find somewhere to go with it? Because he just keeps going.
I like the guy. I mean,
we love the guy too.
No, I do like the guy.
We all like him.
Oh, okay, good.
No, but he is also very. Of course, we love him. But I mean, the man has got. Listen to him today on the Glover Show.
I will.
When he says something, you're just like
we-
Amy says. You're just like
You say it like this,
he's
like,
right.
what would you do if you had $1 million? First of all, no one would ever give me $1 million. Well, that's
So,
yes,
what did we accomplish today?
We have talked a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I would like to say this.
Yes.
On a serious note,
Yeah.
and Amy and I have covered this a little bit over the last week. After the tornado hit,
Right.
how nice it is, and there's still time, I guess, for politics to work its way in. But it's really nice to see people who are Democrats and Republicans who are just working together in this tornado
Yeah.
effort, and then complimenting each other.
Yeah.
Governor Kehoe and Josh Hawley and Kara Spencer, they've all been complimenting one another, and Wesley Bell. This is a really nice change of pace. I hate that a disaster had to happen in order for this to come out.
Well, and it's how it should work, right?
Of course.
Particularly in a disaster. So you're right. It is refreshing, and it's been fun to observe, and hopefully it will continue, because this problem, and if you've seen it up close at all, we're going to be dealing with it for months and months and months.
Oh, months and months. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No question.
That is the thing, and we'll have to keep reiterating that that you kind of, if you're not in the middle of it and you don't see it every day, you just sort of push it to the side.
Right.
But we can't do that.
I have a family member whose house is such that she will be displaced for almost 3 months, 4 months while they try to put a roof back on it, etc.
And there are people who are far worse who lost all
of course
of it and didn't have insurance.
Exactly. I mean,
they
that's
couldn't
not her
afford it.
case, but I mean, still, I mean, it just in my own world, that's
right.
What she's had to go to find someplace to stay now and blah, blah, blah.
I'll bet there is nobody in this town that doesn't know somebody who had real damage.
Absolutely.
And like you said, there's different levels, right, of destruction, because obviously Forest Park is different than people who lost their homes and lost everything. But it is a visual reminder of what went through. And I mean, even today, I'm just surrounded by the destruction, and it's kind of shocking to see so many power lines down, like power lines
still,
everywhere, driving as they open up different roads. Roads are closed, opened randomly as they clean it up. It's shocking, the level of destruction.
KMOX.com/Red Cross. We are still raising money, and we will continue to do so in the relief effort. We're over $180,000 right now. So the minimum is $10. You can donate whatever you want. If you can only do 10, great. 10 is 10, right? We'll take it. KMOX.com/Red Cross. John Hancock, Michael, John, enjoy your date night.
Thanks, buddy.
Let us know how it goes. I expect a text message at 12:01.
All right. We'll see.
Michael Kelly, we'll see you. Scott Jagow comes up next. 3 Good Things, roaming St. Louis. Next on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
Bernie Miklas here for Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer. The Saliga family's been taking care of generations of St. Louisans since 1927. The Miklas family has relied on Saliga for about 17 years, and we well know that Saliga sets the standard for honesty, knowledge, professionalism, and prompt service. In our experience, Saliga has always looked for low-cost solutions to save us money. And Saliga can service all makes and models and can handle your heating and cooling needs for home or business. I recommend Saliga's Priority Club. It's a maintenance program that'll save you money by extending the life of your current equipment. You'll receive priority scheduling and have the comfort of knowing your home is safe and ready for all seasons. Family owned and operated for nearly 100 years, Saliga offers free estimates and financing options and still has the best and most trustworthy customer service in town. To find out more, call Saliga at 314-481-7883 or visit SaligaHeatingandCooling.com.
Winner of 4 Edward R. Murrow Awards, including overall excellence. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
It is 10 o'clock. We've got sunny skies and 61 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey, and a record number of people are expecting to hit the road this holiday weekend.
Particularly around larger metro areas where we usually see traffic, those are only exacerbated because of the volume out on the roads for the holiday. So if you want to avoid some of the heaviest traffic, make sure you're setting an alarm and getting up and hitting the road as early as you can.
AAA's Nick Chabaria estimates a record 45 million Americans will travel at least 50 miles this Memorial Day weekend. Ameren donating $1 million to several organizations to help with tornado disaster recovery. $750,000 will go to the United Way, Red Cross, Salvation Army, Urban League, and the city's Tornado Response Fund. The other $250,000 will provide energy assistance support for eligible customers. Harvard is suing the Trump administration again in response to the latest threat to rescind student visas for about 2,700 people and ban Harvard from enrolling any more international students. CBS's Natalie Brand is at the White House.
Nearly 7,000 students who hold visas at that university. Harvard also says that the claim by the administration that it did not comply with requests for information is not true, according to Harvard. Harvard says it did respond, but we know in this statement by the Department of Homeland Security yesterday, if you remember back to April, the DHS Secretary Noem had asked Harvard for information about its foreign students.
President Trump now threatening a 50% tax on all imports from the European Union, as well as a 25% tariff on Apple products unless iPhones are made in America. Apple says it's not feasible to build them in the U.S. Analysts say there isn't the workforce available to build them, and it would make costs for iPhones rise significantly. Electric utility bills will go up next month for millions in Illinois. Capital News Illinois reporting the increase will be about $10.60 per month in northern Illinois and higher downstate. The increase is because electricity demand is increasing faster than it has in decades. At the same time, fossil fuel plants around the country are shuttering because of tighter emission regulations. The organizations that manage Illinois' power grid are also facing scrutiny for what consumer advocates say was an improperly managed process that set the higher prices. One full week after the tornado ripped through Forest Park, the Missouri History Museum reopens. The museum suffered some damage, but more importantly, it had no power. Regular museum hours resume today. However, the Library and Research Center on Skinker remains closed. The weather is sponsored for you by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical. Sun followed by clouds today with a high of 73 degrees, 56 overnight with the possibility of a brief shower or two tonight, and then a passing shower tomorrow with a high of 70. Sunday, a couple of showers and maybe a thunderstorm with a high of 65. Memorial Day Monday, a high of just 64 with a couple of showers. It's mostly sunny now and 61 degrees at 10:03. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
In the 70s, baseball player Jerry Kelly decided to do something different.
Thanks for calling Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
This year, the company Jerry started decided we'd do something different.
Thanks for calling Jerry Kelly Heating, Air, and Electrical.
And electrical.
JerryKelly.com. Chris Ronchi, Amy Marks Kors, The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
All the little birds on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin go tweet, 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 rockin' robin, tweet, tweet.
It has come to our attention
Ooh, has it ever?
on this show, and it happened earlier today, where we found out that Scott Jagow from the KMOX newsroom hates birds. And he doesn't just hate birds.
Yeah.
He hates.
With a vengeance.
Oh my God.
It's not all
And he
birds.
said, he actually literally said in the office that if he could kill all of them, he would.
I told Matt Pajeski, hey, you better get the dump button ready because
I am
Scott
going to be
Jagow-
good.
I'm ready.
I'm going to be good.
Yeah. So
This guy-
what's
your
my problem? My problem
What's your
is,
problem? Yeah, what have birds done to you?
Well, I'll tell you, this has happened a number of times in my life, but right now it's happening in Soulard.
Well, hold on real quick. Is this the 3 good things or is this
3 bad things? New segment.
No, this is a totally separate topic.
Okay.
That I just have to get off my chest because I feel like there's got to be other people that feel the same way that I do. I know there are. So I live in Soulard, and in the springtime, the birds come out. I feel like they keep coming out earlier and earlier. And in particular, the robin is the one that makes the most noise The thing is really loud, and I have one that perches right outside my window, and it is agonizing when at like 1:30 in the morning, and I got to get up at 4. The bird is out already singing.
1:30?
That's the middle of the night.
It's exactly what I'm saying.
Does the bird know that?
I think the bird's an alcoholic. He's up that early.
So I was last night, just as an example, it was about 10 o'clock, and man, it's so quiet out there. And then, sure enough, 1:32 rolls around. Here they come. They just flock. Oh yeah. Oh God, I hate that sound. And they're so loud. I don't understand, and they never stop. This is what I don't understand. They talk for hours and hours and hours, and I know it's breeding season and whatnot, but what in the hell are they talking about for those many hours?
Why do they wake up at 1?
You think this is fun? I don't think it's funny at all.
Hysterical.
Well, I'm just trying. Like, I thought it would be 5 in the morning. That's when these birds would wake up.
That's what there's. Yeah, exactly. But it's getting earlier and earlier, and there's probably some scientific explanation that we're pushing them out of their habitat or something. I don't know. But I just know.
What if you have a broken bird?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's a climate change could be an issue. But I put a fan on, and I can still hear that thing.
Yeah. If you could choose, like, to lose a few more icebergs and the bird would go away, would you make that trade?
That's a good question. Absolutely.
The old climate change, would you rather?
Well, it's not going to climate change. Not going to kill the birds. Just going to make them start singing earlier in the year.
I have fantasies about killing the bird.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So when
I don't want him to exist anymore. I don't like listening to this. It's very, very aggravating. It ruins my sleep, and it's so loud. It's not like most of the other birds I'm fine with. And you hear them off in the distance. They're fine. That doesn't bother me. It's the one bird that gets right up next to my window and is so loud that I can't sleep.
Can you put something stinky on your branches?
Stinky?
Like there's deer spray that smells so bad. Anyone listening who has smelled that deer spray, it smells like death. It is the worst. It's nauseating. But what if you sprayed something stinky on the branches?
He gets up on top of the utility pole. So
you can't.
I can't do anything. I mean, there's really nothing I can do.
What about you catch it and bring it to your neighbor's yard?
What's he going to catch it with?
A net.
Okay. Yeah, that
like
sounds really easy.
Net?
To just grab a net and a robin that can fly away. My friend tried to push away a bird outside her window.
Like with his foot?
She guided the bird down the street. And then the bird would just land and then go back in the same direction. They are so territorial. That's what I read, is that's what they're doing. They're protecting their territory, and they know exactly where it is. And she's like, well, maybe I can drive him like 30 miles from here. And I'm like, yeah, before you get back, that bird will be in the exact same spot because they can fly fast and they know there's territory.
How many miles do you think you'd have to drive the bird before it
had a
little trouble getting back?
Yeah, I told her Alaska would be a good option.
That's
so
pretty
maybe
far.
you give him a couple days. This is not a joke. I know. I guarantee you, if you ask people to text or call, that there are people that have the same issue. And it's just so aggravating.
314-436-7900. Do you have the same issue, or do you think spraying something like stinky on the branches or another solution would work?
So a couple of texters have already suggested you get a BB gun, but here's the I don't think you can. If the BB gun, if the robin is up high, you don't want to shoot up toward it because it'll come down and hit somebody in the eye somewhere else.
Yeah,
so don't do that.
I don't want to shoot anything.
But how about this option?
Okay.
Buy a plastic hawk. That is according to the text line.
Oh, okay. That's
because I think they're clearly afraid of hawks.
Yeah.
They're not going to come around if a hawk is there until they figure out it's plastic.
Right. Which I would see how long that would take, but I like the suggestion though.
Yeah, try that out.
I
don't know where you get that.
You could hang the hawk like use a string and like hang it from a branch so it looks like it's flying. And then
there we go. Now we're getting creative.
Or another suggestion is a plastic owl. So some kind of dominant like predator bird.
Sure.
That's what you
It
need.
could be a lion. It could be any kind of plastic predator. Yeah.
Okay. I love all God's creatures, and I'm trying to be supportive of birds.
It does not sound that way.
No. My point is, he's too close. If he's a ways away and singing, it's not.
So you love all of
the fan
God's...
will drown out the sound, but he's too close to my window and it's too loud. And robins make a ton of noise and they don't shut up. That's the part I don't understand.
Hey,
they don't stop.
Mark and Ledoux has something for you. Hey, Mark.
Hey, you guys.
What's Scott got to do about his bird?
Scott, they're loud and obnoxious. But there's stuff out there called tanglefoot. Okay, it's a caulk that doesn't dry out. So what you do is you put a bead of it on your windowsill or wherever he's perching, and I guarantee you, after he gets his claws in it once, he's not coming back.
Oh.
I used to have a bird crash into my window on Conway Road every morning at 6 a.m. I swear.
I used to have a bird crash into my window every morning at 6 a.m.
Every morning, this thing hit the window thinking it was him on the other side of the mirror.
Oh, my God. That's funny.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Tanglefoot.
What a stupid bird.
Now, the birds are really weird, though. My mom has a stalker. It's a bluebird stalker. And she said she put this bird feed out there that must have been like crack because the bird would fly to the window and sit on the windowsill and stare at her. And then she would move to the family room and the bird would follow her to the family room window. She would go to her bedroom and he would follow her to the bedroom window. I mean, it was a psychotic bluebird.
In Baldwin, Tony is with us on KMOX. Go ahead, Tony.
I have the time and true solution. Buy a cat.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Get a cat.
That's
Thank
a great
you, Tony.
idea.
All right.
Do you want a cat?
No, I do not. I
Well,
had a cat.
When the cat gets the bird, then get a dog to take care of the cat.
I did. That's pretty sick, man. I had a cat for like 15 years. Unfortunately, I will never have another cat. I know that. I know the reason why
They stink.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
The pee-pee.
A lot of things about those.
It's the pee-pee.
So I guess I said I love all God's creatures. I guess that's really not
It's
true.
really
'cause I
not
don't
sounding like it
cats.
at all.
Like
What do you
birds.
like, Scott?
I like horses and dogs.
Get a horse.
You do
Maybe
love
the horse will
horses.
scare away the robin.
Somebody suggested that you just sit at the window and hoot at it.
Yeah. I think that defeats the purpose of me sleeping.
No, just do it a few nights.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
I have a feeling the robin is smart enough to know it's
all right.
He's like that. That's that guy I've been annoying.
Try this.
Okay.
According to a texter, I had a problem with birds getting in my hanging baskets, so I was told to get something shiny like aluminum foil or something. So I wiped that up and I put it in my plants because they don't like the shininess of it. So try that out.
I feel like it sounds dangerous to wrap a bunch of foil around a utility pole.
Well, don't do it as a utility pole. Yeah.
That's the problem with this one in particular is that it's on top of a utility pole.
Okay, what about a slingshot?
Oh.
And you just
Same thing as the BB.
No,
if it's firing
the BB,
rocks up in the air, they got to come down.
The BB would hurt the bird more, but a slingshot would it would knock it over.
Yeah.
If you hit it.
That's very tempting, to be honest. I didn't think about slingshot.
Yeah, I think you should get a slingshot. It's 1:30. No one's walking around.
I really there's a part of me that wishes there was a camera in Scott's room, like his bedroom, so that we can see him when the bird starts going off.
Yeah.
And just I would love to see Scott like show a bird.
Yeah.
You probably drop a lot of F-bombs, don't you?
He's vulgar, obscene.
I have been known every once in a while.
I think you should get a slingshot because I think that the rock won't kill the bird. It'll just knock it over. And at the very least, he's going to have to regroup.
This text message says says you should slingshot a cat up there.
That's a great That's two
That's my
solutions.
That's my favorite idea.
You know what? I bet the Team Redbird could give you one of those 3-person slingshots.
Yeah, with a t-shirt
Where the
slingshot.
t-shirts we have,
Oh my God!
It could be me, you, and
Oh,
Ron, and we could hold the t-shirt slingshot.
Call Megan Eberhardt. See,
Yeah.
Ask her if we can get one of those slingshots.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, the
hilarious.
t-shirt slingshot. We'll put a cat in there. It'll be a catapult, and you will fire it at the bird.
That's
done.
That
All
is
right.
amazing.
That's it. We've
catapult.
We are 100% going to fire a cat up at the utility
I feel
pole.
like someone's mad now about cat.
We are told
cruelty.
it doesn't matter. I don't care if PETA's listening or not. we're gonna shoot that cat up into the sky.
Catapult.
It flies by, snags the robin. I believe I can fly.
Before we let you go, Scott, are you excited about Hard Knocks Buffalo Bills edition?
I guess. I don't know. I feel like maybe there's a jinx in there somehow.
Oh.
Didn't the Bears?
The Bears had theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had a bad coaching staff, and we knew that.
Yeah.
But this is the show. I'm looking forward to it because I can't wait until Josh Allen is exposed as a fraud.
Oh, whoa. No. No. He's not a fraud.
I know what we're going to shoot the cat at after we get the bird.
That's right. He's the reason they're doing the show, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's a great guy. He really
You
is.
think Haley is going to be around?
Well, maybe that's I don't know. I don't know if
It's going to be
she's-
part of the show, I'm sure.
I don't know if she's she hangs out at camp or not, but
She's not a Jordan Hudson.
she seems pretty cool too.
Another text message, Scott says, what you need to do, go to one of the local cannabis shops, get 50 milligrams of indica, and you won't even care what the bird does.
I thought somehow this was going to be like, give it to the bird.
Or
That bird will not be, that bird will be so relaxed at 1:30 in the morning.
we're going to get letters.
And then the bird is getting high.
I
And
knew-
then it's like, I
I knew
saw
this
this
would-
cat fly by.
Generate discussion, this topic. I do have stuff this weekend. For roaming St. Louis, I went to the.
Oh, you want to tell us about it?
Bring it down.
Yeah,
Bring
sorry.
it down a second. I went to the Economy Museum.
We started with the birds.
No, it actually is. It's a cool
I
place.
went to the Museum of Finance.
Wow.
There were 2 CPAs there. It was so interesting.
Wow, look at all these graphs.
Boring.
You guys are killing.
The Economy Museum.
It's way better than it sounds.
This is a pie chart.
That's their slogan. The Economy Museum. It's way better than it sounds.
First of all, it's free.
Wonder why.
The Economy Museum. I'm sure it is a lot of fun. And I'm sure the people who work there are awesome people.
It really is cool. I promise.
So, like, what is
Well-
there? Here's a statue of a bear. Here's a statue of a bull.
No, it's interactive. So you can lift a gold bar.
You lift a gold bar.
If you need a little exercise.
Oh.
What does that have to
Is
do
there
with
a crash the
economy?
economy room where you can go into it and implement tariffs? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Economy Museum.
It's
Oh,
at the
that's
Federal
so
Reserve, which
good.
people should know about the economy, how it works.
We obviously
Yeah.
don't.
I think a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
That's kind of the whole point. And especially kids. There's a lot of stuff for kids
Come
there.
on, kids. We're going to the Economy Museum.
Hey,
About the market.
yeah, when you were a kid, any
Tell you what,
Any
if you go to
field
the
trip.
Economy Museum,
Yeah.
you'll sleep right through it. You'll get the sleep that you're
Yeah.
missing because of the bird.
Because of the bird.
All right.
Oh, and
Scott
chat
J
with
got-
Stu Mac,
Oh,
by
chat
the way.
with Stu Mac.
We're talking about walking.
Did you go to the walking museum too?
Anyway, so
Oh man, I cannot wait. 3 good things.
Scintillating
And it's at
radio,
6
man.
a.m. too.
That's all I do.
6 a.m. walk.
anyway, we're going
3
to talk
good
about
things.
finance, and then maybe we'll go for a walk. Gladys, are you in?
All right. Scott
I give
Jagow.
up.
Wait, Sunday morning. 3 good things roaming St. Louis.
Sunday morning, you will be invigorated beyond belief.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.
It's Scott Jagow. It's Chris and Amy on 104.1 KMOX.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like trying to remember the name of that neighbor who's lived on your block for 10 years.
Oh, hey, you. How are you?
Is it Diane or Diana or possibly Dina? But then you just take a leap and somehow get it 1,000% correct on your very first try.
Daphne, it is so good to see you. Daphne, which is such a lovely name.
Snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for autopay and e-billing.
I really need funding to expand my inventory.
Swish Funding can help you expand inventory, upgrade equipment, and boost your cash flow.
Well, okay, but I need funding fast.
Swish Funding provides funding from $25,000 to $2 million with payment terms tailored to your needs and cash in your account in less than 24 hours.
So what's the catch?
No catch. If you've been in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000, you could qualify. Just go to swishfunding.com to apply. That's swishfunding.com.
Concerned about where your retirement is heading? Is it on track to meet your needs and goals? Are taxes and inflation a constant worry? Well, you can join Jerry Means for What Retirement Means to You, powered by Means Financial Group, and find out how their team can help guide you to that retirement you've always dreamed of. Tune into What Retirement Means to You with Jerry Means, Saturdays at 3 on KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. More details at meansfinancialgroup.com.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Whoopah! The most mouth-watering event of the year is back. Join us this Memorial Day weekend, May 23rd through the 26th for the St. Louis County Greek Fest at Assumption Greek Orthodox Church. Enjoy authentic Greek food, lively music, dancing, and church tours. Credit cards only. Visit STLGreekFest.com for full details.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX. Sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
I don't really know where to go from here. I feel like we peaked and it's only 10:23.
We could go walk into the Economy Museum. That's one thing we can do. There's an Economy Museum.
I know. I didn't know. It's at the Federal Reserve, which makes sense, which is also very cool that we have one here. Speaking of money, though, do want to say thank you to everyone who donated. KMOX.com/Red Cross. Let's hit 200,000. We are so close. $200,000 to those affected by the tornado, and all of the money that's donated through this link to the Red Cross, through the KMOX and Fox 2 partnership, all of that money stays local. It all stays local right here in St. Louis.
Are just over 183,000 right now. So if we could get to 200 before the show is over at 12 o'clock, we will be very happy.
I know. I was trying to think of something fun if we get to 2,000. I can't think of anything.
Oh, I'm out of fun. I am out of fun ideas.
I'm out of fun ideas.
I've done plenty.
I think we used them all up. They're all gone.
Yeah.
They've been like the robin on the utility pole. They have been shot down.
Yeah. We asked our Twitter users,
Yep.
our Twitter friends, you should follow us at Chris Amy KMOX. And it was an overwhelming vote in favor of me dressing up as the Pope at the Cardinals Sox game.
Yeah.
We're
gonna, in an abundance of caution, we're not going to do it. But
in an abundance of caution, because one person was very upset.
Well, but here's the thing too, because I think it's important to note why it's a thing now at the Sox games.
Yeah, they do it
because
there.
people are so excited that the new Pope is from the South Side. So I think there were like 6 popes in the bleachers a couple games ago, and then also for people who don't know, Ranji has ties to the White Sox. He was on their broadcast team for 10 years. So Ranji is a huge deal in Chicago.
Very big deal.
A very big deal in Chicago. Much
Everybody
bigger
knows.
than he is here. I
That's
know
right.
everyone here is like, who's Ranji? Who's
Exactly.
Chris Ranji? You know,
I kind of like to
Chris
keep it that way.
Ranji. Who are you? Remember that guy? Remember that caller?
I do. As a
I like
lady.
you, Amy.
Yeah.
What about me? Who are you? Yeah. But in Chicago, you guys, he's huge.
That's right.
And I'm so glad we got your KMOX and Amy and all the other people. They are very, very good. But
What do you think of me? You don't like me?
who are you?
But he's huge in Chicago. So
That's
anyway,
right.
that's why the idea, we weren't trying to be disrespectful or anything. We just thought we would join in with the White Sox fun, but in an abundance of caution, we're not going to do that. So we got to think of something else because we would love to hit 200,000 in the next 90 minutes.
Yeah, you know what? Do it in spite of me.
Do it in spite of Chris
if you
Ranji.
hate me,
Oh my gosh, I have a great idea.
the more you donate, the more you hate me.
If you
So there
have-
you go.
if-
KMOX.com/Red Cross.
I also have an idea. If you have really rich friends, give them a call. Say, listen, buddy, I know you. You can write a big old check. That's peer pressure.
I like that idea.
That might be rude, but I think sometimes peer pressure is good. If you donate $10, challenge someone else to donate 10 or whatever your number is.
Or threaten them.
I don't think you can threaten.
You can, I'll tell you what. You can threaten like in a very subtle way where
Jokey
it doesn't seem like it's a threat. It's just implied.
Kind of like, oh,
Like,
I'd
oh.
hate if that slingshotted cat made it over to your house.
Right? I cannot wait to slingshot that cat. I'll go over to Scott Jagow's house.
That was not our
to
idea.
slingshot the cat up at the
No.
utility pole to get rid of the bird.
What if it's a fake cat? The bird doesn't know the cat's fake.
Yeah, we could do that too.
I think that might be the way to go.
All right.
And then the bird will just go. Anyway, we are
Yeah, if
very grateful because again, it's so important. The community, St. Louis, is showing up for their neighbors, for the for the community, for all of those affected. As we talked to Michael, like he has a family member who can't move back into her house for 4 months, but she's, at least she has insurance. I mean, it's so bad because so many people have nowhere else to go. They either don't have monetary safety nets, they may not have a social safety net or a family safety net that they can go to. So the Red Cross has hundreds of people in their shelters right now.
I was listening to an interview on Fox 2 today of a woman who did not have insurance and the house is gone. And she's somehow, and I'm so impressed with people who are able
Yeah.
to have a positive attitude, even with all of that going on. And she said, it was on our list of things to do, but we needed to pour every dollar we had into making the place livable.
Mhm.
So she just couldn't afford insurance.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it sucks. But I do know this. We are going to continue to help best
Yep.
we can. KMOX.com/Red Cross. Folks need your help. So every dollar you donate to us at KMOX.com/Red Cross will stay right here in St. Louis. It's Amy Markscores and Chris Ranji, City SC with a game tomorrow. It's about time they win a game for once. It's been like forever. Dale Schilly is the broadcaster, Y98, and the Academy Director. He joins us next on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up. MU.com. Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040.
Mizzou football is here to stay. After an undefeated home season and a second straight 10-win year, the Tigers are looking for more in 2025.
Eli and the boys have done it again.
With a top 10 transfer portal class and a strong home schedule highlighted by Kansas, Alabama, South Carolina, and Texas A&M, you don't want to miss out. Get your spot in line by joining the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
It's a beautiful day outside. Currently mostly sunny, 63 degrees, a high of 73 today. And it might be, some clouds might roll in. And in fact, those clouds will roll in through tomorrow. Cloudy tomorrow with a high of 71. Weather brought to you by FanDuel Sports Network. Cardinals fans, there are more ways this season to watch the Cardinals on FanDuel Sports Network. Watch through your TV provider, or new this year, subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network and stream the Cardinals. Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com for details.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Hi, I'm Andrew Suntrup. There's never been a better time to buy a Ford at Suntrup Ford Kirkwood or Suntrup Ford Westport. Right now, everyone pays employee pricing, tariff-free, and no hidden increases. Drive home in the Ford you've always wanted, built with pride at a price you can trust. Hurry in, these offers won't last. Visit Suntrup Ford Kirkwood or Suntrup Ford Westport, or shop online at suntrupford.com. Save more at Suntrup Ford.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley telling you about i3 Broadband. You've heard me talk about them. They provide the internet in my home. I love them so much. The reliability is great. Let's talk about price for a moment, though. They've got an introductory rate at $19.99 a month for one of their service options. No bundle ever required. You're going to save $10 a month over the cable company. They've got great pricing on all of their different packages, going up to 8 gigs upload and download speed, always mirrored. See if they're available in your neighborhood. Put your address in at i3broadband.com.
Need a lawyer? Onder wins. Call Onder Law at 314-9-MILLION. That's 314-9 all zeros. Or go to onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Tonight, the Cards, the D-backs. Ameren Total Access 620. Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
That'll be this game's final act. Stevens' whistle does blow, and the final score: Minnesota United 3, St. Louis City 2.
Well, it's been a while since City SC has brought us a victory. Why not tomorrow? Might as well be tomorrow. After losing to Minnesota 3-2 in the Open Cup on Wednesday, they got a match tomorrow. And we're looking forward to it. It'll be on Y98, and you should listen into it. And you'll be hearing this broadcaster. His name is Dale Schilly. He's part of the broadcast team with Joey Zanaboni. Also, City SC's Academy Director as City gets ready for Colorado tomorrow. How's it going, Dale Schilly?
It's going well, but boy, too many of those endings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, too many of those highlight, or I don't want to say low light endings that I'm listening to on the intro.
Why can they not hang on to a lead? What's the deal?
Yeah, we thought we were pushing this one across the line the other day, up 2-1, and down into the final 10 minutes or so, and then Anthony Marcanic scores 2 goals, a former player.
Well, okay.
Yeah, so why is that happening?
Yeah, I mean, like, what, as the coach, I think I asked you this last time, like, what do you say? Everybody knows what they need to do. Everybody knows what they're not doing. There's not really much a coach can do at this point, right?
Yeah, it's a strange one. We talked about it, in the beginning, after a few games where it just felt like that when we were set up in a defensive structure, we were not going to create the chances we needed to score goals to win games. We were getting a lot of draws. Then we start putting a more attacking lineup on the field, and that created opportunities and goals. We got 2 the other night, but you give up 3. So it's a hard balance, and you don't want to point at injuries and that, but it does. The lineup has been shuffled around, but we're short. We are, and we're in the middle of 3 games a week for a couple of weeks, and go to Colorado and play in altitude. This is as big of a challenge as what we've had so far this year. And yeah, it's not. It doesn't look great right now. Although a couple of guys are starting to come back, which is cause for optimism. But yeah, it's been a tough grind.
Well, the roster is the roster. Is there something tactically they can do?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we've messed a little bit on the defending side. We've messed a little bit on the attacking side. I will say that the other night, for the majority of the game, we played in a 4-back system, so 2 center backs. For the majority of the year this year, we played with 3 center backs and a back 5. So maybe that's something that Coach Olaf is looking at for this weekend. I would think that based on the performance over the first 60 to 70 minutes, that would be a good move on his part. On the other side, I think we also have to say that Minnesota didn't start their top tier. I mean, they brought their top tier on, trying to save their legs for their upcoming game this weekend, and they were able, because of the victory on us on Saturday, they were able to rest some of their better players until they needed them. Brought them on for the last 20 minutes of the game, and the game turned at that point. So yeah, I mean, even though we were ahead, we'd like to think it was because of structure and organization, but also the fact is that they had their top 5 players waiting on the sideline to come in once they needed them.
Dale, as a coach, like if you were in this position, like what could you do? Like, would you mentioned about a little bit pushing the more of an offensive approach and then taking a more defensive approach. Would you just shake it up completely and say, we're doing something completely different? What would you do in this spot?
Yeah, if it was me, and love it when you ask me it that way, Amy.
Well, this doesn't put you in a bad position, does it?
Dale, can I put you on the spot here?
If
what
I
would
were the
do
coach, what would you want me to do?
There you go. Put you. Yeah, what I would do is I would continue in the 4-back system that we played the other night, and I would start with defending higher up the field and really try to focus in on winning the ball in the middle third of the field and drawing a line with our back 4s to keep the game nice and tight. Let Roman Berkey step out of his net a little bit since he's so good with his feet, and let him start beyond the 18-yard line to deal with any balls that are getting played over the top and any through balls, that kind of stuff. And that way, when we win the ball, we can maybe counterattack and get forward and try to create some easier chances. It's just it's a very difficult thing to try to create opportunities if you don't have a real sound defensive structure, not the type of defensive structure that keeps the other team away from the goal, but a defensive structure that sets you up a little bit higher up the field so you can get to the goal quicker, maybe create some opportunities that don't take 15 or 20 passes to get there. You can get there in 3 or 4. So that's where I would start. Right now, I would just try to I would focus on the defending side, but I would start it higher up the field, and the defensive focus would be to create goals, not to prevent them.
Oh, so would you recommend giving up fewer goals?
My gosh. He's such a dork.
Yeah. That would be good because you're not going to win many when you give up 3.
Okay.
Then we gave up 3 to Minnesota twice. And you're not going to win many games when you give up 3 goals.
Hey, Dale, we saw this with the Blues when Craig Berube was fired, and I love Craig Berube. Like, I was so sad to see him go. Jim Montgomery, obviously also a great coach, but there is that new coach bump where you're kind of on a high because you have your new coach. We didn't really see that with City, or at least, or maybe I missed it and it showed other ways in the scoreboard. But what do you think? And are you kind of surprised we didn't see that like new coach bump?
Yeah, I would say mostly, Amy, you see the bump on the like a mid-season change.
Okay.
Because what happens is when the coach is hired in between seasons, he has a full preseason with the team. They've got a handful of games in the preseason. They've got a month to 6 weeks together.
There's
so
no
you
real
don't
shock
have
to the system.
I'm going to prove it to coach what I can do.
Yeah.
That's more of a mid-season situation or phenomenon than what you would see when you start the season off.
So what's the deal with this Colorado team, and is it possible we can win a game here?
Yeah, I'll tell you a story. When you walk into the Colorado Stadium, it's a difficult place to play because of altitude. When you walk into the stadium, you get off the bus, you walk down the hall and into the locker room, and they have a mural on the wall with the mountains and that kind of stuff. And then they have like a 2 or 3 sentence statement that says, "Welcome to Colorado. You are at 5,600 and whatever feet. And here are the signs that you're going to feel. Here's what you're going to feel physically when you start running in the altitude." And then they list out what you're going to start to feel. So they have like 3 or 4 different of those signs and murals across the stadium where the visiting team gets to read them as they walk to the field, walk into their locker room, that kind of stuff. It's a tough place to play.
That's a
Colorado's
head game.
Decent.
That's a head game, isn't it? They're putting that into your head just so you know, hey, you're going to not be able to breathe.
Sports question, sports guys. This is the type of stupid debate I would have it like with my friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. You know, you sit there for too long and you're just talking and arguing.
Buffalo Wild Wings?
We used to go there all the time and have like, could we beat Kentucky in basketball if they had slippery socks and oven mitts on? Like that type of argument. So it's hard to play basketball in slippery socks. But Dale, like, and Ron, you chip in. Going to Colorado to play. All the pro teams do it. Soccer, football, basketball, hockey, baseball. Which one do you think is the toughest to play at elevation? Which one do you feel it the most?
Yeah, I would think soccer and basketball would have to be the two that would. Although hockey, man, but they're on for short stints. My guess would be hockey and soccer.
Well,
what do you think?
I would say soccer because it's the summer. I would have said football, except it is in the winter, and
they get oxygen.
I think there's more. They get oxygen on the sidelines.
Yeah,
and correct me if I'm wrong here, but isn't there more oxygen, like a higher concentration of it when it's colder?
Oh, I don't know.
Well,
I think you still feel elevation in the cold.
Well, yeah, of course you still feel it.
That makes sense. And I would say this, like,
but I think you can handle it better if it's cool.
A lot of like runners, right, train at elevation, but they don't sprint at elevation because you can't do it. It doesn't do anything for the system. You can't breathe. And if soccer is both endurance and sprinting, and obviously hockey is sprinting, basketball, but man, that would be tough. I don't know which one's the toughest to play.
Yeah, it is. It is hard though. I mean, we saw it the first year we were out there. The first 20 minutes, we were really good. We were ahead in the game. And all of a sudden, at the 20-minute mark, you could just see the guys completely lose their legs. And it took a while for them to find them back again. I remember Roman being unbelievable in goal in that game. And I can't recall whether we won the game 1-0 or they scored late. But Roman had to stand on his head to help us get the point or the win because the guys just lost their legs. So it's very difficult, but we'll see. We'll see how we hold up and if we can adjust.
What's happening with City SC Academy?
It's been a strange situation in that we haven't had games we didn't have a game last week, and we don't have games this week. So it's been quiet, but teams are doing well. We've had three of the 4 teams, well, actually all 4 teams make the playoffs. 2 of the teams have qualified for nationals. We have one more team that is currently in first place in their conference. So they get a result here next weekend, and they'll qualify for nationals. So it's been good from a team perspective, and a number of the guys are now jumped up into the 2-team program, playing and getting minutes with the second team. Second team's doing well. Had a good win against Minnesota last week, and they play Portland tonight here at the stadium for the 2-team.
Dale Schilly, as always, we appreciate your time. We expect a win tomorrow. So next week we can talk about that win.
We will deliver, and hopefully we get to hear a different ending to the game from Joey.
I know he is distraught.
Yeah,
he
so
is sad.
Distraught.
Yeah.
Poor guy. When the game is over,
right, well, thank you.
And when the game is over and he makes that final call, does he put his head in his hands and just sit there for a moment?
Oh, yeah, and he's down on his knees and his head's on the countertop.
Yep.
Oh, that's awful. That's worse than I thought.
He just says, "Let me lie down for a minute."
Thank you, Dale.
Thank you, Dale Schilly.
All right. Thank you.
Dale is the City SC Academy Director, and you can hear him and Joey Zanaboni on the call tomorrow as City SC takes on Colorado, 8:30. They get started on Y98. It's the Chris and Amy Show. Did you see this? Next.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-969-0686 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-969-0686. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-969-0686 now to secure your $10 Gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-969-0686.
Just a reminder to have your air conditioner checked for the summer so you don't have a mishap and it goes down in the hottest day of the year. But it's always best to have it done. Call us and we'll be more than happy to come out there and check it for you. And like always, if you're having your furnace checked by another company and you are told that this is the year you need to replace it, call me for a second opinion. The 0% interest is still available on most brands. Save your cash and keep your credit cards open and away from those high rates. Call me. You'll be glad you did. Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. The easiest. It is 314-293-2600 or on the website bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe. Now, did you see this with Chris and Amy?
Hey, Ranj, I don't know if you saw this, but a Colorado man is suing the Colorado Rockies, the baseball team, after he was hit in the right eye while watching a game against the Yankees. So the lawsuit has two claims. The first one is that the stadium's architectural elements make it impossible to see the ball flying towards him, so that's poor design. The second claim is that the Rockies are so bad
that they are
so
hurting his
boring.
feelings. Yes.
No, that fans physically cannot pay attention. And that's why he got hit, because it says you need to pay attention. And part of his argument is no fan can pay attention because the team is so bad. And that's why he got hit in the head with a baseball.
That's actually quite clever.
It's
and I hope he
hilarious.
wins. I hope he wins a
It's
considerable
hilarious.
amount of money. Because there's no excuse for them to be that bad. There's no excuse for them. There's no excuse for the Pirates to be historically bad. The Sox they last couple of years have been awful, but they do have still competitive teams. But what the Pirates and the Rockies and the A's have done to their fan bases over the years is it's criminal.
It's bad.
Absolutely criminal.
Quick update too on my the Wiener Mobile race that I told you about. So obviously Memorial Day weekend is the Indy 500. Well, before the Indy 500, they're going to have the Weenie 500.
Oh.
So the Weenie 500 will be they call it hot dog supremacy on the line. Each Wiener Mobile will represent a different hot dog. You'll have the New York dog, the slaw dog from the southeast, the chili dog from the south, the chai dog from Chicago.
Yeah.
Would it be called a chai dog? The Seattle dog and oh my gosh, what's a Sonoran dog from the southwest?
I have no idea.
Never heard of a Sonoran dog. I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Anyway.
That'll be fun. The you mentioned the Indy 500.
Yeah.
Did you see Joseph Newgarden, who has won the Indy 500 before?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a big IndyCar person. I don't know the technical aspects of it, but they do the assessment of the cars before the race happens to make sure they're all good, and they haven't done anything to them they're not supposed to do to give a competitive advantage. Well, there was some sort of modification they did on the vehicle, on the car, and they have been Joseph Newgarden has been put in 32nd place, so he's way back in the field as a punishment because there was an illegal modification that took place. All right, so that's okay. I'm guessing that happens a decent amount, whatever. But he did the press conference because they had the media day yesterday, and he refused to talk about it. He said, "I'm not going to talk about the modification. I'm here to talk about the race." Like, all right, bro. No, you can't just bypass that. You can't just pretend like that didn't happen. It doesn't matter if you were aware of it or if you're your team did it without your knowledge, whatever. You got to address things like that because people who are fans of yours or fans of the sport are going to want to know why and how that happened.
That's interesting.
You don't get to not talk about stuff.
Yeah, because I guess technically he could say, listen, this happened and, you know, we found out about it, or I didn't know, but we found out, and I'll be serving the penalty. End of story, right?
That's some real, I'm not here to talk about the past stuff.
You know what it reminds me of? Jordan Hudson. We're not talking about this. Maybe she was back there.
Maybe she's advising him.
Could be.
Well, I would advise him not to take her advice.
Yeah, I don't think taking her advice is a good thing at all.
Amy, did you see that we are now up to, let's see, I'm going to refresh, $185,600 in our efforts to raise money for the tornado relief. And if you go to KMOX.com/Red Cross, you can donate there. We want to get to 200,000 today.
We only have an hour left. Well, no, we want to get to 2,000 before our show's over.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
We only have an hour left. But here's the thing, in all seriousness, because like I said, the tornado was a mile wide. It was on the ground for 23 miles. It was an EF3 in North City. So many homes had their roofs, their second stories blown off, just completely ripped off. And the homes, which now they look unlivable, but a lot of those homes were inherited. They were passed down.
Right.
So not only did some of these families, a lot of them not have insurance, but they're still living there. Well, you remember the inspections have been taking place over the past couple of days with FEMA and all of this and the safety. So there are little red stickers that you put on the home saying, you can't go in this home. It's too dangerous. Well, these red stickers are going on homes where people still live and have nowhere else to go. And so you're talking about people who not only were they staying in a home that has no roof, that has no windows, maybe the wall was blown out, so unsafe anyway, but they want to stay with their belongings to make sure what they have isn't stolen or ruined. Now they're being told they legally have to get out of the home because they're not safe. It could mean that some of those homes are going to be condemned. There is so much need. It's astronomical, the need. There are so many people in need of help, in need of shelter. And so again, KMOX.com/Red Cross. Every little bit helps, and all of the money donated through this link will stay in St. Louis.
And by the way, the building division is doing damage assessments on buildings, and they're putting labels on them, either green, red, or yellow. Red means severe structural damage. Green means little to no structural damage. They're also trying to quash rumors that the placards that they are putting on these homes is official documentation to remove people from their homes. That's not what is happening right now. So that's not what they're going to do. I mean, I think eventually they're probably going to have to go through and say this is livable or not.
To live in. Yeah, right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're not being forced out of your home. The city of St. Louis wants people to know that. At the moment, this is a really bad thing. And so far, the entire region has done well to come together and donate. So continue to do so. KMOX.com/Red Cross. I had a couple of weddings where kids weren't allowed, and I got one coming up where kids aren't allowed. We'd like to know what you think about that. Amy, Marks, Kors, and I have thoughts. That's next on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040.
Cardinal Cowboy here. Years ago, doctors said I'd never be independent after a bad car accident. Well, I proved them wrong. When proving who's the best in garage doors, Renner does it every time. Whether it's service or a new door, you're covered with top brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster. Keep your garage door running strong with Renner's $100 maintenance check, or get a free replacement quote. Call or click RennerDoorSTL.com. Renner, forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
During National Military Appreciation Month, we at University of Maryland Global Campus say thank you to the service members, veterans, and families who dedicate their lives to our country. We are deeply grateful. For over 75 years, UMGC has proudly served the military community, from installations overseas to the communities you call home. Wherever you serve, we stand with you. Learn more at umgc.edu/thanks. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates. You know, the doctors, or just the best doctors to see for your best vision in St. Louis. 314-966-5000. The doctors. They've treated more than 250 doctors. That's more than any other practice. Dr. Greg Birdie, Dr. Ranjan Malhotra, Dr. Robert Bersati, Dr. Andy Royer. 314-966-5000 is their phone number. 314-966-5000. Dr. Birdie, Dr. Malhotra are cornea surgeons and experts in diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye, dry eye, allergy eye, cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, LASIK surgery. The Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates, experts. Call for an appointment today, 314-966-5000, or visit them online, youridoc.com, 12990 Manchester Road, quarter mile west of 270. 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com.
It is 11:01. We've got partly cloudy skies, 64 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. President Trump approving two major disaster declarations for Missouri to get federal aid. That's according to Senator Josh Hawley. The federal aid is for recovery and rebuilding from the storms in March and April. Hawley is calling on the president to give federal assistance after last Friday's deadly tornado. Hawley was in town Monday surveying the damage. 100% of the proceeds from tonight's City 2 MLS Next Pro match at Energizer Park will go toward tornado relief and recovery efforts. The showdown with Portland begins at 7. City SC leader Carolyn Kindle says it will be an evening of soccer and solidarity as the organization supports its neighbors in this time of need. Elias Rodriguez, a suspect in the shooting deaths of two Israeli embassy staffers in Washington, D.C., faces a possible death sentence for federal crimes. He, a would-be engaged couple, Yaron Yelishinsky and Sarah Milgram, who grew up in Kansas City, had just left an event at the Jewish Museum when they were gunned down. We get more from CBS News Justice correspondent Scott McFarland.
Key component of the court filing so far is that Rodriguez allegedly secured a ticket to this event in Washington, D.C. at the Jewish Museum a few hours before the event was to take place, so that he knew where he was going, he knew who would be there, he knew the religious makeup of the attendees.
Miles Michaelis makes the start tonight as the Cardinals open a series with the Diamondbacks.
Say what you will about Miles Michaelis, but consider this. He has a season ERA of 3.77 despite that terrible start in Boston early this year where he gave up 8 earned runs in just 2 2/3 innings. When you take that out of the equation, Michaelis's ERA drops to 2.4. In his last 5 starts, he's worked at least 5 innings in all of them and into the 6th in 4 of those starts. I'm Joe Pott, KMOX Sports.
First pitch tonight, 7:15. Ameren Total Access is at 6:20. Unhappy that Apple intends to source nearly all of its U.S. iPhones from India, President Trump today threatening a 25% tariff on iPhones, unless the tech giant moves production to the U.S., But Apple says it would take several years and cost billions of dollars to build new plants in the U.S. and shift its supply chain. Combined with current economic forces, the price of an iPhone could triple, threatening to torpedo sales of Apple's marquee product. 2 upcoming Marvel films have been delayed, Disney announcing that Avengers Doomsday is getting pushed back and won't be out until December of next year. Avengers Secret Wars is getting delayed as well. That won't be out in theaters until December 2027.
Sunshine will fade, be an increasing clouds this afternoon with a high of 73.
Tonight will be mostly cloudy with a brief shower or two around low 56. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a shower, mainly early high 70. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now it's sunny and 64 degrees in downtown St. Louis at 11:04. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX. Sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
Oh, I get it. I get it now.
I
Can you imagine
disagree.
being at a wedding,
Mm-hmm.
the beautiful ceremony that happens? You know, two people who are madly in love with one another, or it's a business arrangement, and they decide
a prearranged
in front of
marriage.
all of their friends and family.
Yeah.
They're doing their vows, and then you hear that in the background.
I love
You
it.
hear this? Ruining the moment. These kids just ruining everything. I've been to a couple of weddings lately, Amy, and I have one in July. That's a real sidebar here, okay?
Oh, my gosh.
Hold on a second. I am sick and tired of my stupid friends getting married during holiday weekends. Who do you think you are?
Don't tell me
Who
it's
do you
4th of July
It
weekend.
is 4th of July weekend.
Are you serious?
And it is the second friend in this same group who's gotten married on a 4th of July weekend. Who do you think you are that you can tell everybody this is how you're going to spend your holiday weekend at my wedding?
Is this person's second or third marriage?
No, it's the first marriage for this person, second engagement. So this one's going to go through.
This is another one that asked. Oh, wait, are you officiating?
No, I'm not officiating.
But you
this
were
one.
asked.
Not for this one.
This was just another random one that didn't go through?
Jay, I've had multiple friends. Whose engagements didn't work out. Come on.
Were they like made in a drunken stupor?
No. But I think the drunken stupors was what ended the first one. So, but listen, that's not the point. The point is, first, whoever you think, New Year's Eve or 4th of July weekend, who do you think you are? Why? What makes you think?
It just depends.
No, it doesn't depend.
It depends on how fun you are, because I will say, I have gone, okay, first of all, I think New Year's Eve is the worst holiday of all the holidays. I think it's depressing and I think it's overblown. I also had a friend who got married, and it was like the most fun wedding reception I have ever been to in my life. Like, I still talk about it. If that had been like a New Year's Eve wedding, I think sometimes a New Year's Eve wedding is the best.
It's a real crapshoot. And I will tell you this, the last wedding I went to, which I was positive before I went in was going to be a fun wedding because I knew the people who were going to be there. I'm like, this is going to be a fun crowd. And it was boring.
Yeah.
Well, it was so boring.
The 4th of July is a good holiday. You don't want to waste it at a wedding.
Exactly.
New Year's Eve is
do you know how self-centered do you have to be to assume that everybody in your world wants to spend their holiday weekend at your wedding? And for those of us who are good friends of the person, now we have to be there. I have to go to this wedding because this is a close friend. But the audacity.
So which one is more selfish to you? The 4th of July wedding or the destination wedding, where you have to spend your stupid vacation at their stupid wedding to a destination you don't even want to go to?
What about a destination holiday wedding?
Oh my gosh.
That's a friendship over.
Yeah.
I think it's the destination wedding.
I don't want to go to Cancun. I have no use for Cancun. I don't want to spend like a whole week and thousands of dollars to go to Cancun for some doofus's wedding.
Here's what I do. I say, I will tell you, when you have a separate reception on the mainland, then we will be there. At any rate, we were talking about children at weddings. And so the last couple of weddings that I have gone to and the one coming up are no kid weddings. And personally, because I have no children, I am all for it. I'm all for the wedding. Let the adults have fun, not have to worry about kids being there. Like, oh, I got to take the kid home now. You know, they get in the way.
If
I trip on the kids.
And I'm the opposite. I have no kids, but I am pro kids at weddings. I think weddings are about family. They are about your close friends. If you have friends, family members with kids, those kids should be able to come. Unless here's where like I think someone would know not to bring their kids. Let's say you have 5 kids and the people getting married don't know your kids. They just know you, but they don't know your kids that well. Don't bring the kids to the wedding because that's insane. No one.
What about the rest of us who don't know these kids?
That doesn't matter. It's all about the bride and groom.
No.
No, kids at weddings, again, are the absolute best. They're the most fun on the dance floor.
No, they are not the absolute best.
They are the best. They have fun on the dance floor. If there's a live band, little kids will just run in circles.
Kids can have fun playing with a cardboard box. That doesn't mean I want them at the wedding.
Whenever a couple has no kids at their wedding, I know that deep down that couple's insufferable.
No, that couple is fun and they like to have fun. That's what that means.
I'm related to some people who had no kids weddings, and I'll tell you what, insufferable.
Maybe it's just the people you know. Maybe you just know some insufferable people.
But I do think, wait, how am I trying to phrase this? Basically, any couple, like you can be an insufferable person and still have kids at weddings, but any couple that doesn't have kids at weddings is automatically insufferable.
That's a stupid thing to say. That's very, very stupid. Here's what I will tell you about.
I mean, you're pretty much insufferable too.
No, I'm a lot of fun.
Not true.
Yeah, I am fun. I just don't bring you out when I am. The thing about being fun
bring me
is
out as if
no, you're not invited. You're not invited.
As if I'm like, Amy, stay in that room.
Yeah, you're not invited. The thing about kids is that, and especially at a wedding, because the parents bring all their little children and they are thinking this is sort of a respite for me too. I want to have a little bit of fun. So they're not going to keep a close eye on the children. So the kids are going to run around.
You're totally
they're going to climb under the
misunderstanding how this
tables.
works.
They're gonna walk in between you. You know, you're trying to stand at the bar and get yourself a beverage, and they're gonna run by, and then you'll trip on one of them, or you'll step on one of them. Then they'll start to cry, and then everybody gets upset
These
at
aren't
you.
rando kids, though. If you are a couple and you want to have a night out without your kids, you don't bring your kids to the wedding. You usually only bring your kids to the wedding when they know the other kids, when there's going to be dancing, if they're in the wedding, because it's also weird because they're usually people get married and they have someone be a flower girl. Then now that flower girl is the only child at the wedding.
So then this is my contention. The flower girls and the ring bearers, they got to go home. Wedding, you do your little thing at the wedding.
Unbelievable.
Take your ass home.
Your friends don't have kids anyway.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes. Okay. Mike, okay, Amy.
Marjorie
you would know
Taylor
better than
Greig
me.
has kids?
He's the one getting married
No.
in July.
That's amazing.
The 4th of July. So that's
So
not gonna deal with all
Marjorie
that.
Taylor Greig doesn't have kids.
Here's a text message. It says, we want to hear what you have to say about this. The 314-436-7900. This is from Anthony in Baldwin. Other people's children ruin a lot of things for a lot of people all the time. It's absolutely okay to not allow those little monsters to attend a wedding. Thank you, Anthony.
See, this is because
We're on the same page.
I am more pro kid and anti bridezilla. If a kid ruins some bridezilla's wedding, they deserve it. Bridezillas make no sense to me. It's a wedding. Nobody cares. It's a day that is not that important.
Well, you just said it's all about them.
What?
You just said the wedding is all about the couple.
When?
Like 3 minutes ago.
Well, yeah, look, the families, like with the couple having the kids. But I mean, like if you're a bridezilla and you're like, I want my day to be perfect. I'll tell you what, that's not going to last. Bridezilla weddings don't last because it's all about the wedding. No, the kids, it's about the most fun.
It is not about the kids.
The most
the
fun
weddings
I ever
are not
had.
about children.
My Uncle Keith and Aunt Kay, are they listening? They listen all over the world. There's the ones that text in. Will from Bloomington. Uncle Keith and Aunt Kay got married. It was the most fun. I was a flower girl with my cousin. They had a live band. And I was like 6 years old, 7 years old. And we danced and danced and danced and danced. And it was so much fun. And I still remember that. Thank you, Uncle Keith and Aunt Kay, for not kicking out the kids like this stupid Ranji would.
Well, my contention is probably the only person at the wedding who's having a good time when the kids are there is you. Everybody else is like, man, I wish these kids would go home.
I wish
they never would have invited these children.
Kids get it. They know it's
they're
about
either-
like dancing and eating cake. Oh
they
my
get
gosh.
it?
Yeah.
They're tired. They want to go home by 8. No, they don't get it.
Well, maybe you just don't hang out with cool kids.
I definitely do not hang out with any kids.
I'm around kids all the time, all different ages, because they're in my life, they're in my family, whether I was like helping to homeschool them. Kids are way more fun than adults.
314-436-7900. Please tell Amy why she is wrong.
So Cheryl on the YouTube,
Yes.
she said, what about, or on the Facebook, how about no kids under 2?
Well, now see, the cutoff is arbitrary. Why can't it be no kids under 5?
Honestly, I think if you had Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell at your wedding, it would bring down the party more than any
because
kids
they
would.
would stay off in the corner
They'd
and
be in the
nobody
corner
would.
like,
yeah, out of the way. What are the kids going to do? They're going to get in the way.
It's a real downer to have
everybody's
someone
way.
have a grabber at your wedding.
Well, okay. And it's a real downer when somebody steps on a kid and injures it for life.
Okay, first of all, it's not an it. And kids aren't so small that you accidentally step on them all
Yes,
the time.
they are.
Babies aren't walking around the wedding.
I'm a giant.
You're not going to step on a 10-year-old.
Hey, don't throw rocks at me. I'm walking around the wedding like I'm.
The kids are like, look at the fat man.
314-436-7900 or leave us a message on the Odyssey app. It is the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX. This show is not for kids either.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
We asked parents to share their journey of adopting teens.
They changed who I am because I can't see life without them in it.
Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-bill.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Homeowners, spring is here and there's no better time to sell your St. Louis home. But the agent you choose matters. So who should you call? Trusted Realtor Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty. This is Debbie Monterey, and here's why Gloria should be your first call. While the average realtor puts a sign in your yard and hopes your home sells, Gloria will guarantee to sell your home for 100% of market value, or Gloria will pay you the difference. In this market, you don't want to risk working with someone who doesn't have the guarantees, the buyers, or the experience to help you sell within your time frame and for the most money. Many realtors will overprice your home just to get your business, which can lead to your home sitting on the market with little or no offers and then price reductions. If you want to sell your home for 100% of market value or have Gloria pay you the difference, call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
1041 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Stronger than ever.
Nice day for a no-kid wedding. Told you. The public perception is, and I've seen a couple of polls here, and one person has written in that 80% of people don't like kid weddings.
80% of people are stupid, and they also don't know. They must not know great kids. All I know is that families are so much fun.
Not at weddings.
The whole, like, you know what I can't relate to? The show Say Yes to the Dress.
Okay.
It's the stupidest thing. Brides need to get over themselves. The wedding is just like, it's a celebration with your family and friends. It's not about, like, I'm going to be selfish and have these perfect pictures and be crabby and be a bridezilla. That, to me, is the biggest turnoff in the history of the world. I can't relate to it in any way. A wedding should be a party. You need good music.
Yes.
You need good music.
Yes.
To dance to. You need good food. You can have a good bar, and then everybody dance. Listen, there was an 11-year-old.
Without the children.
There was an 11-year-old at this wedding I went to. They crowd surfed the 11-year-old at a wedding.
Wow.
Because like there was like 400 people at this wedding, and 200 of them were between the ages of 16 and 25.
And the kid crowd surfed?
They crowd surfed the kid. It was amazing.
That sounds awful.
It was so fun.
No, it does not sound fun at
hilarious.
all. Leave that kid at home. Crowd surf his ass back to the house.
Oh, listen, just because you're going to be Mr. Creeper at the wedding. Listen, we need
80% of it's at least half. I've seen other polls that say 60% of people are okay with not having no kids at weddings. This one texter says it's 80%. I guarantee you it's more than half.
We have 40 minutes to get to $200,000. We're $11,000 short. So if you agree with me, donate at KMOX.com/Red Cross. And if you agree with Ranj, donate at KMOX.com/Red Cross.
Yes, for the tornado relief effort. We're doing really well. We're trying to get to 200.
We're within $11,000 of $200,000.
We can get there by 12.
We can get there. We have 39 minutes.
Here's a text message that says, sorry, but the day of the chubby little nephew spinning around on the dance floor with his shirt being untucked at a wedding is long gone.
I don't get that kind of detail without experience.
Here's another message that says, I don't want crotch goblins at my wedding. What does that mean?
Goblins?
Because they're that height, I guess. And they're punching you there.
That's what
I guess that's older than an ankle biter.
Jen is watching us on Facebook and says kids are gross.
Oh, well,
that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Just what I would expect from a hyphenated name.
Let's talk to Sue in Staunton. Hello, Sue.
Hello.
Hi.
I was just telling your producer that my son is getting married in September for the first time at the age of 46. He's retired military and found the love of his life, and they have decided to have no kids at the wedding. They're not having a flower girl, a ring bearer. They said they've been to so many weddings where their friends bring their kids and have to leave early and don't enjoy themselves. And they said they want everybody to come, all their friends to come and have a great evening out. So that was their decision.
That's interesting to me, though,
Sue.
because that's interesting because I would say if I wanted an evening out, leave the kids at home. If you want the kids to come to the wedding, go to the wedding. But I don't understand, like, whose feeling obligated to bring the kids to the wedding. That's, I think, where we're having the misunderstanding is I know great families and we have fun and nieces and nephews and what have you come to the wedding. I also have friends who have 5 and 6 kids who wouldn't bring their kids, not only because I don't know them that well, but they're younger and they want a night out. I don't understand why this is hard to understand.
Well, this is a text message, and the entire message just sounds like the ultimate nightmare of a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
We were married on Thanksgiving Day 50 years ago. We included my husband's 3 children and all of our nieces and nephews. We hooked them up in a side room with a video of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It was terrific. That is from Sandy. So they had a separate room for the kids during the wedding, and it was on Thanksgiving Day.
That's an interesting day. I would not want to have a wedding on Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Listen, no kids at a wedding.
And listen, let me just say this again. It can be strategic. You don't have to invite everybody because then, especially if you've got a bunch of friends with big families, that just gets super expensive. But I think you have the families that you're close with.
This text, well, see, that's the thing you can't do. You can't tell certain people, hey, sorry, no kids at this wedding. So they make arrangements.
You can't put on the invitation like Bob and Judy. And then on another invitation, Bill and Carol and family.
No.
I think you can.
No, you cannot. Because if you're telling people no kids, then they show up and there are kids. They're going to be like, why couldn't I bring mine?
Because I don't know your kids.
People doesn't
need
matter.
to not be so sensitive.
It does not matter.
I will 100% pick and choose which kids are coming.
Well, then you're a butthole if you're doing that. That's rude.
If you don't know the kids, there's 6 kids under the age of 10 and you don't know them, I don't think they would naturally bring them. But if there's a bunch of kids that you know and they're hanging out, I love it.
We've got a voice message from Bill.
I'm fine with the kids being there, but please tell the couple who insists on performing the entire time they're playing Paradise by the Dashboard Lights, please tell them not to come.
All right. Meatloaf. He's talking about Meatloaf. He's probably right.
He died.
This message, no kids at weddings.
Meatloaf did.
Yeah. It may be not
the observation.
Yeah, once again, you've done it. This message says no kids at weddings. It may be fun for the kids, but they ruin it for everyone else. Absolute worst is when they go out for the bouquet garter throw because they are single.
First of all, see, that's the best.
No, it isn't.
What
It's awful.
self-respecting single
Oh,
woman
my
actually
God.
cares about the bouquet? To me, it is so much more embarrassing when all of your sorority sisters are yelling and screaming to catch the bouquet because, we gotta wait. That's so embarrassing. I think it's so much more fun to have a bunch of little girls who actually would think it's special and cool to catch it. Have fun with it. If you're an adult catching a bouquet and you care, get a life.
I think you need to get a life.
Get a
You
life.
think weddings with kids are more fun?
Yeah.
That is so boring.
Maybe I just know really cool families.
That must be
I
it.
think I know really well. Let me just say this. This is not a joke. I know a lot of homeschool families. And I'll tell you what, homeschool families are fun.
Chris, you're wrong, this message says. Kids should be at weddings. It's where they get to be exposed to the institution of marriage.
Well,
or maybe that's at home.
I think
Mom
it's more
and dad.
of the ceremony, not really marriage.
Okay.
They're not exposed to the institution. They just, I guess, get to see the ceremony. Listen, I think I maybe I will say this. I know families that also have horrible kids. So maybe if you're surrounded by your friends and their kids are brats, don't invite them. I think you're right. Maybe I'm it's an anomaly where we just have a lot of fun, but I love the idea of kids at weddings because I think weddings should be fun, celebratory family things. Not like Bridezilla. It's about me, and my sorority sisters. I have 27 bridesmaids because I'm so popular.
Jeez. I feel like your priority is it's so weird how you look at stuff. I got married in 2021, this message says. We had no kids. Only kids were allowed were mine. I don't get that. I think they're saying they had a no kid wedding. The only ones allowed were mine.
Yeah.
They were 11 and 19 at the time. But that was it.
Interesting. That's like a bowling split. I feel like 11 and 19 with kids Gives me the same sensation as when you're bowling and you get it split.
Here's a message that says if you want to expose kids to the institution of marriage, you should take them to a divorce court.
50-50 chance.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Continue to let us know what you think at 314-436-7900 about kid weddings or no kid weddings. Voice messages on the Odyssey app as well. And please, we want you to donate. We are approaching 12 o'clock, and we are getting closer and closer to $200,000 donated to the Red Cross. We are at 189,000 right now. So KMOX.com/Red Cross. All the money stays right here in St. Louis.
Start again. It's a nice day for a white wedding.
Whoa. In the aftermath of a devastating tornado, your generosity has made a real difference. Thanks to donors like you, the Red Cross is providing shelter, meals, and hope to families in crisis. But the need isn't over. Please, if you can, give today. Every dollar helps deliver critical relief and comfort when it's needed most. And every dollar stays right here in St. Louis. Visit KMOX.com/Red Cross to donate now.
If you are a shelter insurance policyholder and have damage to your home, car, farm, or business due to the recent storms, please call 1-800-SHELTER. That's toll free 1-800-743-5837. Or report your claim online at shelterinsurance.com. Early reporting of your loss will help Shelter schedule adjusters to handle your claim. Take whatever reasonable steps you can to protect your property from additional damage and call 1-800-SHELTER to report your claim today.
Well, it's beautiful outside, 67 degrees and sunny. Looking at a high today of 73. Some clouds might filter in over the course of the afternoon. Tomorrow, cloudy with a high of 69.
Brought to you by Visit Missouri.
When you golf in Missouri, the courses are so close, you'll spend more time on the fairway than the freeway. After the back nine, enjoy our world-class dining and distilleries, shops and spas, museums, and more. Find your new golf MO at visitmo.com.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Mark Cantor at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, so I take this very seriously. Mark is a great attorney. He has a great team. He is from St. Louis. He is local. Call 314-628-9999 or visit cantorinjurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.
At California Psychics, we know some people can't read the career warning signs, like your boss still not knowing your name.
You, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
So talk to California Psychics and receive the career guidance you need. We only connect you with the very best, so guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
I really need funding to expand my inventory.
Swish Funding can help you expand inventory, upgrade equipment, and boost your cash flow.
Well, okay, but I need funding fast.
Swish Funding provides funding from $25,000 to $2 million with payment terms tailored to your needs and cash in your account in less than 24 hours.
So what's the catch?
No catch. If you've been in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000, you could qualify. Just go to swishfunding.com to apply. That's swishfunding.com.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
This is the
wrong music bed.
This is the somber bed when something bad happens. And I think this is because somebody just now sent out wedding invitations that allow your children, and that's why.
This feels more like a the end of a war movie or something.
Yeah, that would be somber.
Yeah.
After all the death.
Not funny.
No, that wasn't a joke.
Yes.
After all, there's death in a war.
Yeah.
this is what you would play at the end of the movie, like the end of Saving Private Ryan. That's a very sad
Have
movie.
you ever seen Von Ryan's Express with Frank Sinatra?
I have not.
It's from like 1950, so spoiler alert. He dies.
Oh, come on, dude.
Frank Sinatra, and they're on a train. He got all these people out, and they're on a train leaving like Germany, and he's running towards the train, and they're like, come on, come on. And then like the Nazis shoot him in the back, and he dies on the tracks, and then they fade out.
Wow. That's how it ends?
That's how it ends.
What?
So we were watching it with my dad. I'm like, Dad, is this a sad movie? He's like, no, this is a classic war movie. I'm like, okay. I was like, he doesn't die, does he? He goes, no, he doesn't die. And then, of course, it ends like that. We were mad at my dad, and he said he, quote, forgot that he died at the end.
Oh, come on, man.
I know.
A message
Sinatra.
to 314-436-7900. We got invited to our nephew's wedding, but the bride doesn't like children. As we have children and none are permitted at the wedding, we are sending money but not attending.
Like on principle?
I guess. They don't say. Another message says the reason newlyweds aren't having kids is because they see what they're like at receptions.
Yeah, I think this is, you know what this is? Bad parents. I think your problem is you've invited bad parents to the wedding.
Well, okay, whatever the problem is, whether it's the kid's fault or the parents' fault, the end result is the same. They're just going to ruin the wedding.
Well, okay, what about 6 and under? No kids, but you can do 7 and up.
No.
There's a difference. There
No.
is a difference between crying babies. I don't know anyone who brings crying babies to a wedding. Of all the weddings I've attended, there's never been a crying baby.
I'll make a deal with you. Nobody under 18.
Oh, you're missing out.
That's basically an adult-only wedding.
It is. Because, like, listen. Again, kids in my life, kids in my family, daily, like, interactions, right, with them and their friends, whether they're like, what was the last time you were in a water balloon fight? I was in one recently because there's a bunch of 11-year-olds in my life, and there's so much fun.
At the wedding?
Well, no, not a water balloon fight at the wedding, but just like kids in general. Let's say you say no one under 6, but 7 and up, because 7 and up, they can dance, they can behave themselves, they can enjoy the food, they can have fun.
This messenger has it backwards. They say no kids at the wedding. However, they can be at the reception. No, the reception is the part you don't want them at.
See, that's maybe a bridezilla who's
That's where the booze is. Here's the thing. There should just not be a bunch of kids around when there's booze.
So I know a wedding where the groomsmen tooted during the
What do you mean
vows.
tooted?
It was an audible fart.
Oh, on accident?
Yeah, on accident during the vows.
Okay, the way you said that, you made it sound like they all did it in unison.
No.
Like the groomsmen did it.
A groomsman.
Oh, okay.
Groom's gentleman.
I was like, is this part of the show?
He tooted during the vows.
Okay.
And then another person in the audience started laughing. And then the bride was super mad.
See, I think that'd be a great...
How's that not
That'd be
any
fun.
different than a kid?
No, that's a funny moment. This message says, I'm 62 and they need to worry about me more than the kids. I guess his behavior is what they're talking about.
You know what? I didn't even think about that.
Yep.
If you had to take 2 crazy uncles or some kids at your wedding, which one are you chancing?
The crazy uncles, because they're going to do something fun.
But what if it's not fun? What if it's offensive?
Well, I guess depending on your perspective, that could be fun. Tim writes in, I am crashing Amy's wedding and bringing all of my kids and my friends' kids. Good luck.
How many kids does Tim have?
I don't know.
Because it sounds like he's got more than he should.
I know. Another person here. Amy, this is nice.
Yeah.
It says, Amy, marry me. Ranj, you're not invited. I'll give you his phone number.
Every invitation to the wedding is like, this invitation is for like Bob and Judy. Chris Ranji is not invited on every invitation, just so everyone knows.
I loved the guy earlier who said the day of the chubby little nephew spinning around on the dance floor with the shirt untucked is long gone.
Long gone.
We are not doing that any longer.
Yeah.
Got a voice message from Kevin.
Uh-oh.
Hi, guys. Love your show. I'm going to have to side with Chris. After paying for 3 weddings, kids just don't belong at these adult situations unless the family specifically wants kids there. And plus, you still have to pay for kids the same amount as an adult for weddings too. So that's my take. Have a great day.
There you go.
Thank you. I think that's fair. I think it's not everyone who has kids bring their kids. I would hope that your friends would understand like which families are part of your life. Especially think about this. Like, let's say, a family where there's been a previous marriage and there are kids, right? They're going to have friends. And I think maybe that's what I'm thinking of more is that those families and the kids that you already have as you're getting married become part of your life. And so like you would invite nieces and nephews and friends and schoolmates who've become part of your life. I think that's special.
Well, yeah, they could be part of your life. They just don't have to be at the reception. You don't have to do everything you do.
I've never seen a baby at a wedding now that I think about it.
I'm sure I have. I think I try very hard to ignore them. If they're there.
First of all, you can't meet a baby.
You cannot meet a baby. We've all come to agreement on that,
no,
right?
We haven't all come to agreement.
Yes, I think we have. So here's my contention about babies.
What would you do if someone handed you a baby?
Okay. Hold it out like this.
Holding it like he's holding a watermelon.
like a wet towel. Ew. I've changed a diaper before.
When?
I was in high school.
Why?
Because my cousin was over and we were watching him, and he pooped, and then I had to change it. I've wiped a poo-poo diaper.
Which was worse, wiping the poo-poo diaper or taking care of your pukey drunk friends? That's grosser to me.
I don't take care of my pukey drunk friends.
Well, Matt Pajeski, he's anti-kids, and he's had pukey friends.
I had a girl puke in my car. Yeah.
Oh.
He broke up with her.
It was over soon after.
Did you do it because of that?
It didn't help. It made my decision easier.
Was it one of those things where you're like, are you going to get sick? Do you need me to pull over? Are you going, no, I'm fine. Was it one of those?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I had one of those, but she got it outside the car at least. On the side of the car, but still it was outside.
Yeah, this was half in, half out. There was an attempt.
Oh, come on.
Kind of late though.
That's so gross. I think I would like just have to kill the person. I don't know. It's so gross. It ruins your car. You have to burn your car.
You have to burn it.
Yeah.
Amy just asked me what I would do if somebody handed me a baby.
Yeah.
A message here says, Ranji, do not shake the baby.
Well, yeah, but you know that. I think.
I
hope.
Did. No,
Who
I
knows?
did. I did absolutely know that much. Did you know what's going to happen this weekend, Amy? I know you know. Why is this weekend important?
This weekend?
Something monumental is going to happen this weekend on Memorial Day weekend. Something huge. Something that has never happened
before.
You're
going to commit to something.
No.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
It's going to be a record travel weekend. AAA says it's going to be a record. It's going to be the last time we've had a Memorial Day weekend this heavily traveled was back in the 80s.
I just want to say I'm getting on a plane now, and it's Southwest. It is not a plane from Qatar. I don't take planes from Qatar.
No.
So mine's just a
Well, no, hold on
regular
a second.
Southwest plane.
You'd be crazy not to accept the free plane from Qatar.
I'm not. I don't trust them since they fund terrorism, you know? I don't trust those guys. That's why I'm flying Southwest.
So Amy Marks' course is on the way out. We'll see you in a week or so.
God willing, and the creek don't rise.
When we come back, though, you're going to hear a conversation that Amy had with the General of Space Force, Chance Saltzman. Yes, Space Force does still exist. You get to hear this good conversation. We'll do it when we come back. Do not forget, KMOX.com/Red Cross. We have about 17 minutes to get to $200,000. KMOX.com/Red Cross. Let's go.
Do you like the word thorough? It's a good word, thorough. It means complete, accurate, detailed. Well, when you go to Ophthalmology Associates, you will get a thorough eye examination. The technology's incredible. It's all up to date, the very latest. And Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer and their staff will make your visit very personal. That's because they believe every patient is unique. Ophthalmology Associates takes all the research and technology and their personal knowledge and expertise and tailor it into an eye care plan that is as unique as you are. Services include everything from expert treatment of cataracts and retinas to comprehensive eye exams for you and the kids, and a full-service optical shop with a ton of frames to choose from. Ophthalmology Associates, 3 St. Louis area locations. Visit youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000.
I really need funding to expand my inventory.
Swish Funding can help you expand inventory, upgrade equipment, and boost your cash flow.
Well, okay, but I need funding fast.
Swish Funding provides funding from $25,000 to $2 million with payment terms tailored to your needs and cash in your account in less than 24 hours.
So what's the catch?
No catch. If you've been in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000, you could qualify. Just go to swishfunding.com to apply. That's swishfunding.com.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Ford is built for America, from America. Hi, I'm Andrew Suntrup. There's never been a better time to buy a Ford at Suntrup Ford Kirkwood or Suntrup Ford Westport. Right now, everyone pays employee pricing, tariff-free, and no hidden increases. Drive home in the Ford you've always wanted, built with pride at a price you can trust. Hurry in, these offers won't last. Visit Suntrup Ford Kirkwood or Suntrup Ford Westport, or shop online at suntrupford.com. Save more at Suntrup Ford.
Your garage door is the largest piece of moving equipment in your home. When it needs help, call the experts at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Their certified technicians repair all brands of doors and openers, and you can even schedule evening and weekend service. Just call 314-781-5200 and always look for the red ribbon. It's your assurance you've got the genuine, the original Overhead Door, the most trusted garage door company in St. Louis since 1926. For same-day service, schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. 314-781-5200.
During National Military Appreciation Month, we at University of Maryland Global Campus say thank you to the service members, veterans, and families who dedicate their lives to our country. We are deeply grateful. For over 75 years, UMGC has proudly served the military community, from installations overseas to the communities you call home. Wherever you serve, we stand with you. Learn more at umgc.edu/thanks. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
I really need funding to expand my inventory.
Swish Funding can help you expand inventory, upgrade equipment, and boost your cash flow.
Well, okay, but I need funding fast.
Swish Funding provides funding from $25,000 to $2 million with payment terms tailored to your needs and cash in your account in less than 24 hours.
So what's the catch?
No catch. If you've been in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000, you could qualify. Just go to swishfunding.com to apply. That's swishfunding.com.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Martzgors, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Space, the final frontier.
We are basically at $190,000 donated to the Red Cross from all of you in our joint effort with Fox 2 and the Red Cross, KMOX. We want you to go to KMOX.com/Red Cross, and this goes, all the money that is donated on this link is going straight to tornado victims here and to the recovery effort here in St. Louis. So KMOX.com/Red Cross. You've done a great job. You've been awesome, St. Louis. So we appreciate it here, but we still have a long ways to go. So last week, or earlier this week, in fact, the General of Space Force, Chance Saltzman, sat down and spoke with our very own Amy Marxkors.
Well, in December of 2019, the Space Force became the 6th and newest branch of the U.S. military. It's also the smallest and maybe the most secretive. And so, to give us some more information about the U.S. Space Force, joining us now is General Chance Saltzman. General Saltzman, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Amy. You forgot it's the most important branch.
Yeah. Oh, I did forget that.
Yeah,
I had
just
that in
wanted to
my
clarify.
notes, but in
Great.
my excitement, I mistook that. Well, okay. As we know, the Space Force 2019, relatively new. It is its own separate branch. It's under the umbrella of the U.S. Air Force, correct?
The Department of the Air Force, so we have a Secretary of the Air Force, and there's two services under that same department. It's kind of like the Department of the Navy has the Marine Corps and the U.S. Navy. Same idea.
Okay, gotcha. And I know a lot of people might be thinking, okay, what does the Space Force do? Is it like NASA?
No, it's very different than NASA. NASA is a great organization, and they do a lot of human space flight and research and development. But we have the military branch. So our job is safe, secure, stable space domain. Americans just rely on satellites now. They don't even know they do, but they do, whether it's GPS to navigate by or weather data, satellite communications. Your actual ATM cards are enabled by satellites. You're not going to do any business on Amazon over the web if you don't have satellites. And so it's just become so important. Now we need a service to defend those capabilities.
So what is it, like 45,000 objects around the Earth, a lot of them the satellites, the GPS systems that we use. So the Space Force, they're the guardians of all of that?
Yeah, we call our members of the service guardians. Just like you have sailors in the Navy or airmen in the Air Force, you have guardians in the Space Force.
And when you started your career with the U.S. Air Force,
right,
when did you realize you might be guarding space?
Well, although I've been flying satellites for a long time, I did that in the Air Force. I actually was a part of the National Reconnaissance Office and flew satellites for the Air Force. It wasn't until late in my career when there started to be a discussion that we might need. It's so important to us now, and the threats in space are growing so quickly that perhaps we need a new service to focus on this. And so that came about 5 or 6 years ago. So.
When I mentioned earlier that it's the most secretive, and because you are looking at space, you also have to take into our geopolitical adversaries like China and what they might be doing to militarize space. Is that a big part of your purview of what the Space Force does? Is not only, I guess, watch all of our GPS satellites, but prevent that space from being militarized?
Yeah, I mean, the satellites have become so important to us that I think some of our potential adversaries have seen the advantages we get from space, and they want to take those away from us. And so they have invested in weapon systems to try to deny us those capabilities. It's my job to make sure they can't do that.
Did we learn much about how, I guess, GPS and that type of thing can be weaponized with what we saw with Russia and Ukraine in that conflict?
Yeah, well, there's two sides of GPS. One is it provides very precise coordinates. So when you're thinking about munitions being employed and you want to be very accurate, we use GPS to do that. But in the same way that we navigate, if you can deny that signal to aircraft or people on the ground that are trying to use GPS to navigate, then it causes problems. So you get this back and forth. The enemy trying to take out GPS while we're trying to use it to our advantage.
All right, I feel like this is escalating quickly, but now my brain is spinning.
Good.
Can satellites be weaponized? Could a geopolitical adversary make somehow weapons, chemical, or anything else?
Well, so let's be clear on what we mean by that, right? And I think the fair thing to say is, of course, and they have. They use missiles to try to shoot down satellites. They've used satellites to try to run into other satellites to create problems for us. The Chinese have actually even developed a grappling arm where they grabbed a satellite and pulled it out of its orbit. Now, they did that to one of their own satellites, but they've proved that they can do this. So the fact is, space is a warfighting domain now that we have to pay attention to.
Yeah, you know, when I first told a friend of mine that I'd be interviewing you, and he was very excited and kind of briefed me on Space Force and what you do.
He's done a great job. You sound really knowledgeable.
Oh, thank you. He said a lot of it's classified. But it kind of made me realize that so many branches of the military do have a very public-facing element. You can see the ships, you can see the Blue Angels, you know, there are displays. I guess we're not really seeing there's not really a huge public-facing element of Space Force right now as far as equipment or planes, right?
Well, we don't have the Blue Angels. We have senior leaders that like to throw pitches from Major League mounds. That's how we try to get out and really.
You're the Blue Angels of the Space Force.
Not with the same velocity, but I'm hoping to be just as good. Sure.
But do you find that you have to explain a lot?
Space is a little bit out of sight, out of mind. I mean, we don't interact with satellites on a day-to-day basis, but the data that they provide, we do interact with. You know, if you look at your phone, there's several apps on there that are space enabled. And so we don't really see it on a day-to-day basis. And so our job is to remind people how important space is to us.
All right. You have about 8,000 military guardians.
We're about 9,600 now.
9,600
we're getting bigger.
Military guardians, and then several thousand civilian guardians.
About 5,000 or 6,000 more. Yeah.
So is there a Space Force base, like an Air Force base?
Yeah, we have 6 main operating bases, but we're located in I think 46 different locations around the globe now. But our 6 main operating bases, we have 3 in the Colorado Front Range area. Mm-hmm. We have our launch capabilities in Florida, Cape Canaveral, and we have a launch facility at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. And then we do a lot of our acquisitions down in Los Angeles. So 6 main operating bases for the Space Force.
If you are a Space Force Guardian military, what does deployment look like?
Yeah, we employ our capabilities from garrison, meaning we don't have to go to the austere environments to do our jobs. So from our bases, we create combat power, literally flying our satellites and taking actions to protect those satellites from our bases in the United States.
You know, with the military forces and presence, like say in Europe or around the world, it is making sure you have that military presence, but also wanting to deter war. Right. So I guess there is a deterrent aspect of Space Force. You don't want space war to break out.
Yeah, that'd be catastrophic.
Yeah,
it would. And so one of the things we focus on is making sure that we are ready. We show that we're ready to make sure that our enemies would understand, hey, if you're going to combat the United States, you're going to face deterrence in terms of what we can do in space, what we can do in every domain, air, land, and sea. So we don't deploy to conduct our operations, but we send Guardians around the world to integrate with all of our combatant commands, all of the forces around the world, so that they can most accurately integrate space capabilities into what they're doing. Again, to make them more powerful, more effective, be able to project that power when they need to. And that creates a deterrent effect.
That is Chance Saltzman, the General of Space Force, visiting with Amy Marks Kors this week. And that is going to be our show for today. We'll be back on Monday. In fact, John Hancock is sitting in with me on Monday. Amy Marks Kors will be out, but we expect you to come back. You got to be here all next. I'm coming in on a holiday for you because I care about you. Please don't forget to donate at KMOX.com/Red Cross. KMOX.com/Red Cross. All of the money that is donated stays right here in St. Louis. We are over $190,000 right now donated since yesterday morning. So St. Louis, you've been awesome. You really, really have. But the help will be needed for a long time. So we need to continue this effort. KMOX.com/Red Cross. Don't forget to donate. Anything you missed on the show today is on the Odyssey app. AUDACY. Download it, friends. We've got the Gas House Gang with Mike Claiborne, Matt Pauley, and me. We're also going to visit with John Rooney. That is coming up next. We'll talk some Cardinals baseball on the Gas House Gang on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Who are you?
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card